Submit to the High Council here on World Class Bullshitters. This week, I'm your host, Jeff Hicks, and with me, as always, is the leader of the Jer Army, Jeremy of Geeks and Gamers. How you doing tonight, my friend?
What's up, Geeks and Gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another episode of the High Council. Glad to be here. Best day of the week. Happy to hear and see all of you. What was that? What was that?
A phone. I don't know where it came from. The ether, a telephone. Whoa!
I thought it was one of those. Everybody loves when I start my stream off and I always forget to turn the volume down and I start cussing. I'm like, God damn, I thought that's what I did that time. But anyway, the Jarrett Army is here in full effect in the chat, and looking forward to seeing you guys make it rain because Jeremy Osteen wants to see the super chats. Jeremy Osteen wants to see some super chats. Wamen.
And finally, it seems like he's back because no matter what, if you don't have this man involved with a stream, it just isn't complete. So he's finally back. Ladies and gentlemen, the comic artist pro secret himself, Ethan Van Sciver. Ethan, welcome back to the High Council.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here with you all. My name is Ethan Van Sciver, comic artist pro secrets. Illustrator of Dr. Jordan B. Peterson, future Canadian Prime Minister Dr. Jordan B. Peterson's 12 Rules for Life, creator of Cyberfrog Blood Honey, the biggest crowdfunded comic book of all time, world's most charming man, great big Star Wars fan. Thank you so much, gentlemen. It really is nice to be back. I'm so sorry about last week. I was just like, Andrea was like, you got to go to bed. You got to go to sleep. Look at you. I've been up for like 24 hours. It was too much. So I missed another episode, and I'll tell you, it really didn't feel good. Didn't feel good.
I'll tell you, we felt like we were going to have a riot on our hands when they heard that EVS wasn't there. They were pissed. But then Doomcock stepped up. Doomcock showed up, and it was all good. There was a lot of people upset that EVS wasn't there, but Doomcock did a great job.
He always
appreciate
does.
him. We appreciate Doomcock. So
Doomcock rises to the channel.
Definitely. That's the second time. The one time I was driving and I couldn't really make it, and then he stepped up. So that's twice now he's been here for us. So he's awesome.
Yeah. So am I the only main member that has never missed an episode?
Have you never missed an episode? Really?
I've never missed.
You haven't since I've been here. That's for sure.
Then I've never missed
one. Yeah. Why not?
Hey, perfect attendance. I got it in, I guess, the fourth grade or some shit like that. So why not again? I'm 30 now. I was 10 back then.
It's very impressive. We're very impressed.
So Ethan, speaking of impressive, I'm so happy to have you back because you've been having some drama. There's been all kinds of Comicsgate news. I've been getting asked about this constantly.
So
and
have
here's the thing. Jeremy and I really don't know. We watch your videos like other people. We suggest that people go to your channel, but could you fill the people in on the High Council? Because this may be the first time they've heard you speak live since all the bullshit happened last week.
Oh yeah, so being in Comicsgate is a really strange thing. I think I have the biggest channel, the biggest YouTube channel of any other comic skater. So I am the subject of most people's attacks, like most of the people who hate Comicsgate, the NPC crowd. But not only that, fairly recently, these kind of lower level like YouTubers, these guys who have like, 800 subscribers and get like 40 views on their videos, they started like turning on me pretty big, pretty big time, and saying he thinks he's so great. He thinks he's the leader. They're right. I do think I'm great, but I don't think I'm the leader. And so they challenged me to a debate after saying a bunch of horrible things. I got into a debate after, on zero sleep and started yelling at someone. And then I realized I was just like, you know what? Like, in a way, these guys have a point. Like, in a way, like they're saying Comicsgate is a consumer movement and you are, not a consumer. You are a producer. Like, you're somebody who produces comics for comic skaters to buy. And I said, yeah, maybe you're right. So I thought about it. I talked to my wife about it. And then I just announced that I'm leaving Comicsgate. So I'm no longer Comicsgate. Now, as soon as I did that, everyone, all the NPCs started celebrating. It was like it was the end of Return of the Jedi. The Ewoks, except they're blue-haired land whales, started, whooping and hollering, celebrating that the Comicsgate was dead. And I just thought that was weird. Like, so all I had to do, Comicsgate only existed because of me. And then I thought about that for a little while, and that felt really, really bad. Like, it felt awful. And then, of course, let's take a moment of silence. Stanley Stan Lee passed on yesterday. Okay. The great Stan Lee. Now, my response to that was incredible sadness, and then to see these same NPCs who were celebrating the death of Comicsgate also celebrating the death of Stan Lee.
That pissed me off. You have
Dude,
no idea how much that pissed me off.
I seriously, like, I've never been so angry. I like, for the last like 3 days, I feel like I've been angry, you know, over a lot of stuff. Like, I'm angry about the debate I had where people were like, you shouldn't even. Well, I mean, I'm just doing what I'm doing. I'm trying my best to like make Comicsgate into a viable, like, my thing is Comicsgate is an idea. The idea is that we need better comics, but you can't get Marvel and DC to change. They're not going to change just because we say so. So the answer is we have to form, a business. We have to actually create the comic books that we want. And very few people can actually do that. I can do that. I've been doing this for 25 years. I'm somebody who can create great comic books that are as good as the stuff that Marvel and DC puts out, because I am Marvel and DC. I've worked there for 25 years, and I can get people from Marvel and DC to come along with me and create their own books, and we can create an alternate Comicsgate-based industry that can go head-to-head with the big two. Now, of course, we can't do the volume that they do. We'll have to be creating new IPs and all this stuff, but it's really... Somebody described it this way. They said that like a movement like Comicsgate is like a tidal wave crashing. Okay, there's so much energy when you see that wave coming at you. It gets bigger and bigger, building, it's moving, it's got momentum, but eventually it's going to crash on the shore and just kind of, that's it. The energy's expelled, it's expended. The only way to make that last is to take that energy and make something, build something while it's at its peak, build something that's going to last. And that's what this is. So I started a company called All Caps Comics. And that is me spinning out of Comicsgate and saying, I'm going to take the ideas of Comicsgate. I'm going to hire the best indie talent I can find to produce the best comic books I can produce. And they're all going to be based around the ideas of Comicsgate. So once I saw them picking on Stan Lee and saying horrible things about him, I feel like, this is very serious, I'm sorry, I feel renewed. I feel like refreshed. I feel refocused and energized. And I feel like Comicsgate has to go forward, and we have to produce these comic books, because that's what Stan Lee would have done. And that's what Stan Lee did do in 1961. Discouraged by the state of comics in the 1950s, he created Fantastic Four because his wife said, do it your way. And that started Marvel Comics. So this is the point right now. Comics are in a depressed, kind of politically oppressive state. We can do it. We can bust out together, like as a group. We can create comic books that excite people again, and we have to. We can't just complain about Marvel and DC. We have to create new stuff. So that's what happened this week. Now, when I said I was leaving, they started celebrating. Then when I announced All Caps Comics and got refocused after Stan Lee, they redoubled their efforts. And I mean, I'm getting hated on so bad right now. It's something else. I'm getting totally hated on. But I started a new channel, which they also hate, called All Caps Comics. And it's all artwork. So it's all going to be, if you subscribe to All Caps Comics, you're going to be there with me through the planning stages of the whole thing. You're going to see nothing but comic books getting built. And it's so badass. Nobody's done this before, guys. This is like building a company. 2019 is going to be, it's going to be huge. It's going to be absolutely incredible. So I'm excited about it. We had a rough week. We had a little bit of a rough week where I think I lost my temper at Comicsgate and said, you guys are losing focus. We can't have all this infighting. But I think Stan Lee refocused everyone and made everyone realize how important this is.
Well said.
Well, I mean, remember, because of you, I got to do a comic as well. That was a life-changing thing for me. So remember, for all the people that talk shit on the internet, you do help people out with your Comicsgate movement, me being a prime example. So remember, thank you. That's all I can say about that.
You're welcome, and we need to do more of that, Jeff, and we're going to need you to do another book after this next year.
Dude, look, I have been working on Stealing Solo. I've been doing my warm-ups. I've been getting right back into the art field, and you talk about feeling renewed. I do, because, that was my dream for years, and then nothing came of it. So then I started doing YouTube, and that started working, and it still does. But then I connected with you, and I get to live out a dream. So I always look at the Comicsgate, the anti-Comicsgate crowd as just a bunch of jealous people. Everyone that talks shit, they're just jealous because they can't do it, and I don't really get upset. I don't let it get under my skin. They can run their mouth on Twitter. They won't say shit to me in person. They won't do anything in real life. So I always feel for you. And when I saw the news and on Twitter, I was like, oh man, what happened? And then we got to kind of speak behind the scenes. But yeah, I'm always with you, man.
I know. And you know what these fans are too. And I mean, Comicsgate is, we're all, we have disagreements. We have to learn how to have disagreements and not try to tear each other down. We can talk about what's best for comics as a family, as a big family, as a big growing community. Nicholas Glenn, by the way, can I read this one super chat for you?
Of course.
Nicholas Glenn says, EVS, I heard someone say you left Comicsgate and then came back. Is that true? I'm lost here, and I just want to get the real lowdown. It's extremely confusing. What I did was I said, and I understand this is confusing. I said, yeah, you know what? After this one debate, Nicholas, that I had, I said, I think they talked me into not being Comicsgate. I think these people said, you're not Comicsgate, these other Comicsgaters, because you are somebody who produces. So let's put it this way. Comicsgaters are people who are saying, hey, we don't like the food that Burger King is serving anymore. We don't like it. We want it to change because it used to be hamburgers, it used to be hot dogs, it used to be not hot dogs, it used to be French fries, and then all of a sudden you put out these soy-based patties. You're saying you're doing it for our own good, but we don't want it. Okay, so those are Comicsgaters, the guys who are criticizing. I am someone who goes, hey, yeah, I agree with you. I feel the same way. What do you want? What do you want to eat? Okay, I'm gonna open up a cart over here, a food truck that's gonna give you the food that you wanted that Burger King isn't giving you anymore. And then I open up my food truck and I start selling food directly to you. So there was an argument made that people were like, "You're not Comicsgate. You're like a supplier." Do you understand? So I was like, "Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'm not Comicsgate. All right, I'm not Comicsgate." And when I said that, and I said instead, I am all caps comics. I'm a supplier. I'm the supplier of Comicsgaters. When I said that, SJWs and NPCs celebrated and said that's the death of Comicsgate if Ethan Van Sciver leaves. And I went, ooh. And I thought about it for like a day, and I was like, I can't, like that's dangerous. Like if they start saying that, that's going to dispirit people, and it's going to make them feel like Comicsgate isn't something that they should be involved in or something they should hope for. And one thing that we can't allow people to do is lose hope. We can't, we have to actually always be like, hey, we're hopeful. We can make a change. People who feel like they have no voice and can't make a change get very discouraged and they quit. So I came back like 2 days later and I just said, you know what? Like, especially after Stan Lee's death, I am Comicsgate. I'm Comicsgate in my heart. I can be both. I can be a dissatisfied consumer and I can be a producer. I can be Comicsgate and all caps comics at the same time. And that immediately pissed off the NPCs like nothing I've ever seen. They're coming at me twice as hard, calling me evil, calling me a monster. I don't know what's wrong with these people. I really don't, except they're really trying to protect the foothold that they have in mainstream comics. And we're a direct threat to it.
Well, this is what they continue to do. They never create anything. All they do is they motivate us to continue to create things and build our base and build our foundation and inspire, people that have the same type of, mentality as we do. And these people just continue. All they did, like, look, what did they accomplish by getting on Twitter and bitching about you? They did nothing but motivate you. And now you're back better than ever, ready to kick twice as much ass, and there's more motivation within the community now, all because these people who will never accomplish anything in their lives did nothing but help motivate you to continue to piss them off. It's beautiful.
Yeah. I can't do it without the fans, I gotta say, because it really does hurt sometimes. When you're being called evil, you're being called a monster, when you're being called names and people are threatening you, you feel it in your heart, and so you have to I turn to my fans all the time. I make videos, I let them in, I do live streams, and I just feeling the love of our community, of our fans is like a breath of fresh air, and it gives you all the energy you need to get right back in there and keep fighting and not listen to them and realize that they don't represent the whole world. Your fans really love you and they're here, they're supportive, and they're not going anywhere as long as you stay there and fight for them. And so that's kind of what I learned this week. It was a very big dramatic week, I have to say. It was a very drama based week. But yeah, it was I think an important week for Comicsgate.
You know, I look at it like this. It reminds me a lot of the early 90s buzz with Image and all of this stuff, because comics have been, as a fan, they've been so stagnant for so many years. You know, I've been reading, I learned how to read really from comic books, and I've been, you know, I've always read about the history of this, that, and the other, but like this is exciting because it's something new and different. And with, you know, you behind it and so many dedicated people, I just, even if I wasn't doing my own book, I was pumped. I bought Cyberfrog. I bought Bigfoot Bill. I bought all these things because it's something cool and different. I love Spider-Man to death, but until they fix that shit, they don't get my money. So
Yeah.
just as somebody that's been there the whole time from the outside and now on the inside, it's still exciting. Like, you know, I'm looking forward to all this stuff because, you know, comic books, not comic art essentially, but it's like one of the great American art forms because Famous Funnies was the first comic book proper. And, you know, we kind of need to get back to that. And the Stan Lee thing, you talk about being pissed. I'm seeing these people, one minute they're saying how great he was, the next minute they call him a bigot. And then I read quotes from Stan's soapbox about how bigotry and hatred and racism are so terrible. It just, to me, when I see these people attack Stan Lee, it just goes to show how uneducated they are and how distasteful they are. And I don't think those people deserve my respect anymore.
No. And they show that they have zero credibility. Like, who's really going to take someone seriously that attacks Stan Lee on the day he dies? Who's like, what normal human being is actually going to look and go, you know, those people that are attacking EVS are making fun of Stan Lee on the day he died?
Yeah, that's one thing that I realized, Jeremy. Listen, when there's a group of people who are constantly calling you a bigot and a transphobe and like a homophobe and racist, like those words really hurt. And you have to like look inwards and go, am I any of those things? Do I have that in my heart? And I've come to realize I don't have that in my heart. I just don't have that in my heart. So they're lying. But then you watch them say the same exact things about Stan Lee. The same words that they used to drag me down and to make me feel bad and make me feel like, or make people think I'm a racist or anything like that. They said the same exact things yesterday about Stan Lee. Same exact words. Yep. Same people. So I'll stand with Stan Lee. Whatever Stan Lee is, I'm Stan Lee. I'll be just whatever he is, and happily so, proudly so.
I just have you seen about the Armie Hammer and then Jeffrey Dean Morgan situation?
People sent me a link about this and asked me on my live stream earlier, and I still haven't looked at it. So
I'm going to talk about it in the morning. I even might put a video together about it. But so Armie Hammer, who was the Lone Ranger in the failed Batman and in the Justice League movie that never was, kind of got on a soapbox and started saying, talking about Stan Lee and posting selfies and how vain it is. These celebrities like Hugh Jackman and The Rock and all these tons, and Robert Downey Jr. and all these people who went out of their way to pay respects to Stan Lee because they posted selfies with Stan Lee. It was a bad thing. And the problem with it was not that he had that stance or opinion, but they didn't have the balls to keep the tweet up. He deleted it very quickly, but all these news sources screenshotted it and have it, for a source. And then Jeffrey Dean Morgan called him out. He says, I'm not going to read the tweet now. I'll talk about it later because I took a screenshot and I got to pull up the tweet. But he ripped into this guy over that. Why would you pick now to espouse that kind of opinion? Now's not the right time, I don't think, at least.
A lot of people are feeding into there's a lot of people who are like that. The same kind of people who, like, when everybody on Twitter is mourning like an anniversary of 9/11, they come out and say, these 9/11 mourners, screw them. They weren't there. They're a bunch of posers. All of those weird negative feelings that you have about people, that's sociopathy. Keep it to yourself. I have a picture of me with Stan Lee. I will not be sharing it because I am 300 pounds in the picture. So it's like, I will not be posting that picture of me with Stan Lee. But I do have one, and I treasure my memories with him. One thing that I do have that I shared on Twitter was an interview I did with Stan Lee in private, one-on-one, which I treasure still. I said, who's your favorite Spider-Man villain that you created? And Stan's answer was so great and so fun. If you want to look for that video, it's on ComicArtistProSecrets, called EVS Draws for Stan Lee. And I think it's just a good memory of him. It's a good memory of Stan.
I wish I could have met Stan Lee.
I mentioned this on my live stream earlier. This is a little bit different focus, but kind of in the same wheelhouse in terms of like, when can people just stop, fucking with their agendas for once? You know what I mean? Just once. I said on my video that I uploaded about Stan Lee, I'm like, hopefully today we can just all come together, put aside our differences, and celebrate the greatness of Stan Lee. And obviously that's not going to happen, because these crazy NPCs. But something I saw cool the other day, and I think everybody knows that I think Chris Evans is a lunatic when it comes to his politics. But I really appreciated that he went out of his way to make a tweet and tag James Woods in the tweet and highlight the fact that James Woods is doing so much for the California wildfire situation. And I'm like, I know for a fact Chris Evans knows how much James Woods is pro-Trump, pro everything that Hollywood's against. And for Chris Evans with his platform to kind of like put down the fight for a minute and just highlighted James Woods for a good act he's doing and put aside their political differences, I was like, that's amazing. And we need to point those things out, and I think I'm going to make a video on it just because, and I don't know if it'll get views or whatever, but it's a point I wanted to make, that as crazy difference as their politics are, and it gets so divisive. It was nice for like one day, this guy who's so anti everything that Trump touches or is associated with, he stopped it for a second and he pointed out how awesome James Woods is being. I thought that was really cool, but we don't have enough of that. You know what I mean? We don't. And it's, we're all going to have difference of opinions in life. Us three on this show have different opinions at times. So we talk about it. We work it out. Well, yeah, me and EVS agree on everything. That he agrees that I am the greatest YouTuber of all time. So it's fine. It's all good.
I do agree with that. And if it wasn't for Jeff at World Class, I think you guys are tied. But yeah, for the most part, I'm trying to think of when I disagreed with you about something. Well, we both agree that Rose Tico is a sex goddess, right? I mean, no? I don't know. I was under the impression we agreed about it.
No, it's really nice when an event like that can bring people together. And for my answer to your question, if the death of Stan Lee, which brings out everybody from every walk of life, somebody that may have liked comics for 5 minutes in the 90s, to big celebrities like Robert Downey Jr. and The Rock, if a moment like that can bring certain people together, but other people still use it for their platform, there's literally nothing that will ever be one big event that brings everyone together. There was that post 9/11 unity in 2001, 2002. You'll never, ever get anything like that. Thanks to social media, you always have some dickhead going off at the mouth about, oh, this is why this happened and all this crap. And you'll never, ever see a big event bring people together again. And that's something I'm not happy to say.
Sad but true. Sad. That's why like people were, when I got so excited over, I get excited when I see people come together and they're collectively excited. So when I was watching the reaction to the Clone Wars reveal, I got excited, obviously, for Clone Wars, but I was watching it and it was a room of people that erupted simultaneously because the Clone Wars was back. And I'm like, God damn, we haven't seen that since the teaser for The Force Awakens at Star Wars Celebration. Ever since then, the Star Wars has been divided, so it was just nice to see a collective group of people come together. And you're right, to see that on a bigger scale is pretty much damn near impossible at this point, because people are so divided. And people can't put aside their differences right now. And again, if you can't do it for Stan Lee, what the, if you can't stop calling people racist and sexist when Stan Lee dies, then there's no hope for that side of the argument. There's none. Absolutely no hope.
No.
Did you see AJ Plus, the verified Twitter page?
Yep.
What they said, they breaking news, famed comic, entrepreneur or whatever they called him, Stan Lee dies at 95. He was recently accused of sexual assault by multiple women. That's what they put in their headline.
Disgusting. When he goosed some nurses at the age of 95. I'm sorry. If Stanley wants to pinch your tuchus and your tuchus and you're a nurse and you're taking care of him, just get a sense of humor. My God,
it's just unbelievable.
Or quit.
Did you know what this is about, right? You know what this is more about than anything? This is about the fact that Stanley is a straight white male. That's it.
He's not. Well, the thing about him is also there's some deep anti-Semitism here. Stanley's Jewish. Stanley was a poor Jewish boy who, did some amazing things. And I don't know why we don't discuss this more. I don't really get it. You know, I don't really get it. This hatred. I mean, these are people who see him as a straight white male and therefore an oppressor. He's an oppressor.
Yep.
But he was Jewish, and the modern comic book was created by Jews who couldn't find work in illustration or the literary world because of the anti-Semitism of that era. And Stan Lee, he wasn't perfect, and nobody is, but he did fight a lot of ignorance and dedicated his life to legitimizing comic books. And I think he succeeded gloriously.
Oh yeah.
You know, not that I want to get into the victimization Olympics, but you know, frankly, let's play it their way. Their hatred for him displays some pretty creepy anti-Semitism.
I agree. And it's just, you know, I don't know. It makes, on one side of it, you want to say I'm losing faith in humanity, but in reality, we're not, because no human, no normal thinking human would do what they did. It just kind of continues to verify the NPC meme as a reality. You know, I don't truly think that those people think for themselves. I think that they are part of just repeating the same thing over and over again and not having any critical thinking whatsoever, no free thinking whatsoever. And again, it's like it's a trigger moment. You know, you wake up, you know, and you see the outpouring of emotion for Stan Lee. And in your mind, all you are thinking as an NPC is straight white males being celebrated. Racist, sexist, homophobic, you know, without doing any research whatsoever. That's the programming that you are supposed to be repeating without any critical thinking whatsoever. And the more these things happen, the more that they stand up and repeat this garbage in these situations, the more credibility it gives people like us that have common sense and we can think freely. So
one thing I'd like to say too is it's funny. The first comic book company to put out a memorial for Stan Lee was DC by an hour. I screenshotted it. Not that you know means a lot to everybody, but DC at 2 p.m. on the dot had a nice thing to say about Stan Lee. Hold on, I saved it. I'll read it to you guys. It's literally a tweet, so it's nothing too long. But at 2 p.m., DC Comics said, he changed the way we look at heroes, and modern comics will always bear his indelible mark. His infectious enthusiasm reminded us why we all fell in love with these stories in the first place. Excelsior Stan. Very nice, very personal tweet. That was at 2 p.m. At 2:54, Marvel Entertainment finally gets on their shit, and all they say is, today we pause and reflect with the great sadness on the passing of Stan Lee.
Yeah.
They truly hate who gave them work. And people would think, Stan Lee didn't hire me. Tom Brevoort did, or this person or that person. There would be no company without Stan Lee's contribution.
Did you see Tom Brevoort's tweets, by the way, about this?
I did, but elaborate for the listeners.
Oh my gosh! Well, let me just pull it up real quick. Tom Brevoort is a big editor over at Marvel Comics. I think he's probably the biggest editor over there. And you know, he is a great big NPC, a great big SJW. And kind of a dirtbag. I got to be honest with you. I work in comics. I wouldn't say that lightly, but when Mark Waid threatened to assault diversity in comics at a convention in Baltimore, he said, "Bring that guy to me. If anyone sees, you know, your boy Zach at this convention, you grab him and you bring him to me." And Tom Brevoort tweeted out, "What's the plan, man? Are you kidding me? This is an adult." So he tweeted out, "Stan Lee was both the best known comic book editor in the world and the best writer of his era, the 1960s. The fact that others surpassed him in this endeavor by building on what he did changes nothing of it." Tom, which editor surpassed Stan Lee? Which one?
Sure shit, not him.
Yeah, which writers did more for comics than Stan Lee?
Look,
oh God, it's infuriating.
Look, Stan Lee is the Walt Disney of comic books. That's not even something I'm saying because he's dead. You guys can go back, because this is the reason why I had no shame talking about Stan Lee at great lengths now that he's passed away. Because every time one of those news stories would come out about his elder abuse, I'd get angry and I'd talk about it on the channel because I love Stan Lee, loved Stan Lee, but I don't buy into elder abuse at any level. But I've always been this Stan Lee supporter. A lot of people are using his death as, like we said, a stepping stone. And for just to jump off the Tom Brevoort thing again, literally no one has the output as Stan Lee or ever will.
No.
I mean, even if you think of the top 10 greatest comic book writers of all time, like a Denny O'Neil, possibly Frank Miller, those guys have created great stories within the realm of whatever. Stan Lee co-created the great characters that gave, well, with the exception of Denny O'Neil, these people their names. So nobody will ever achieve what Stan Lee did. And it just bothers me that they're trying to, belittle his achievement.
Of course they are. And you know why they are is because in 2015, some hidden documents came out. Some secret documents were leaked from Sony that revealed a restrictive set of rules for Spider-Man's on-screen persona. So Stan Lee basically had to speak out and defend what turned out to be a deal between Marvel Comics and Sony, that Peter Parker in the movies would always be a straight white man. Okay, so that got revealed. Like they had that deal in place. Like you're not allowed to make Peter Parker black, or you're not allowed to make him gay. He's always got to be. So Stanley, when those documents got leaked, everyone screamed homophobia, everyone screamed racism, and Stanley responded by saying, quote, "I wouldn't mind if Peter Parker had originally been black, a Latino, an Indian, or anything else, but he stayed that way," he said. But we originally made him white, and I don't see any reason to change that. I think the world has a place for gay superheroes, but again, I don't see any reason to change the sexual proclivities of a character once they've already been established. I have no problem with creating new homosexual superheroes. It has nothing to do with being anti-gay, anti-black, or anti-Latino, or anything like that. Latino characters should stay Latino. The Black Panther should certainly not be Swiss. I just see no reason to change that which has already been established when it's so easy to add new characters. I say, create new characters the way you want to. Hell, I'll do it myself. You're damn right you could do it yourself, Stanley, but these people can't. All they can do is destroy what you created. That's all they can do.
Yep.
When you read that, it makes me miss him even more, because it seems like he's the only creative person with a good head on his shoulders. Everyone else is just, I mean, some people can joke about the NPC stuff, but these people are truly brainwashed. And
they really are.
Like mentality, and it's fucking scary. Everybody says the same shit. It's like the Village of the or Children of the Damned or whatever, that movie where all the kids have the white hair and the weird colored eyes. It's just this bizarre cabal, man. I hate it.
It's a cult.
Well, it's like I said, man. It's the NPC side of things is so accurate, because again, what happens with NPCs in the video game when you need them to update their words or anything like that? You do an update, you do a system software update, and you give them a little more dialogue to evolve, whatever storyline. And that's what happens with these people. Alt-right didn't exist a few years ago. Now it's like the number one thing they say, because the mainstream media in Hollywood programmed them. They put it out there. They programmed them to say alt-right. You're alt-right. I remember when I got called an alt-right. I'm like, what the hell is an alt-right?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means, And they're like, oh, I guess it's another way to call you a racist, I guess. So it's like everybody's alt-right now. If you repeat what Stan Lee just said, what you said, he said, then you're alt-right. You're a misogynist by saying common sense things, which how can anyone not agree with what he said? How? Please tell me. Don't ever make Black Panther. Don't make Black Panther Swiss. Don't make, that would be so stupid. We would all be on this show right now if they changed Black Panther to a white person.
Yeah. We
would all be screaming about how ridiculous this is, and we would all be against it. But we're just all against, we're just white supremacists, right? It's unbelievable.
Yeah. So since Stan Lee said this in 2015, he was all loved and adored by everyone. Before that, 2015, go back and you'll start to see his entire reputation being destroyed. They decided to call him a sexual harasser, a rapist, all of the things they started accusing him of, all of that stuff, all of that garbage about him. They ruined the last few years of his life. And it used to make me so angry. I'd say, yeah, this is how you want to say goodbye to Stan Lee, all of y'all? You want to steal his blood and make special ink to sell these, weirdo Black Panther limited stamped whatevers with Stan Lee's blood? I mean, vampires. And they, all of this started to happen, all of the hashtag Me Too, because he said this. Tom Brevoort and his whole thing, basically not lionizing Stan Lee, but calling him kind of a flawed man, all happened because of this. This is their reaction to this. You're telling us we can't make Peter Parker gay? Well, then your whole legacy is garbage. And that's what we're seeing on Twitter right now.
100% right, because I guarantee you that this all comes down to that right there. Because if he would have been for changing Peter Parker, every single person calling him all these horrible names and accusing him of all these horrible things would have had a reverse effect and calling him praising him up and down. It's all because of one belief that they disagree with. That's how they can shift their focus to demonize you and call you every horrible name in the book. That's all it takes with these people. Whatever they're programmed to think, whatever the trigger word is for them, that's the direction they go in.
I just don't think
we have ComicScape.
I don't think these people realize how irrelevant they are. You know, I look at these Tom Brevoort, he works at Marvel, fine, but somebody like Todd McFarlane or Rob Liefeld, you know, big names in the industry, or at least in the past, who've created stuff that will stand the test of time. I feel like they presented themselves the classiest, especially McFarlane's tweet out how Stan Lee had the innate ability to make you feel so important when he met you. Those are the nice things that you should say about someone when they pass away, not, you know, to further your politics. Ugh.
Well, you said it right. These people, and here's the problem is for a while there, at first it does seem like they have more influence than they really do. You know, like for me, with Geeks and Gamers, I've said this on my live streams many times. You know, I ran Geeks and Gamers pretty buttoned up. You know, I didn't really want to say anything about, you know, how I was a Trump supporter and all this stuff, you know, because who wants to be called a racist and a sexist by all these people on social media? You know what I mean? You think about how that can bleed down to your family, you know, your professional environment, things like that. But I found out real quick, you know, at the beginning of the year when I decided I don't give a shit what these people think, and they're going to be so irrelevant. And when I decided to, you know, kick the door down at the beginning of the year and just tell people exactly how I felt, I realized real quick, these people are nothing. They mean absolutely nothing. And I've watched this amazing following that we've created, you know, with the Geeks and Gamers channel. It's bled over into our website and all of our other social media, where these people, they love what we're doing, and they go to the website, they go to our social media, they support us, they stand up for us, they support us financially. You know, these are the people that I want to be, you know, if we're in a war, which we are in a culture war with a bunch of people that can't think for themselves. And if we're in that position, the people that are following our channel are the people I want to have my back, because they will support us and they can have critical thinking, and they're not programmed to repeat the same shit over. And these people continue to scream so loud, but in reality, they are absolutely meaningless, and they have no impact on anything. Everything they try to ruin, they end up helping. They all the time. Every time they try to ruin something, they only help it. Just like the Shirako gaming channel, where he uploaded a video of him punching this is funny. This is so funny. He's punching an NPC character in Red Dead Redemption 2. He beats the hell out of this feminist woman, shoots her in the head, feeds her to pigs and alligators. And it was great. What did they do? They all went crazy. They reported his channel. YouTube took the channel down. And now again, it's okay to have Grand Theft Auto where you're killing cops all and slicing their bodies up. That's okay. But one video with a feminist getting punched in a video game, that's too far. So anyway, luckily people like Keemstar and others helped out, got the channel re-uploaded. YouTube finally gave in. They put the channel back up. Now his subs are through the roof. He's gained like 100,000 subs since then. So all these nut jobs that complained about him, they gave him a bigger platform. That's all they did. So everything they try to ruin, they help. So that's all you have to remember. Don't be intimidated by them. Do not let them think that they have any impact, because they don't. At first, it seems like they have power because they use these horrible words that used to mean something. Racist, sexist, misogynist, that used to mean something. That used to mean that this person was a bad person. Now it means nothing, because these words are meaningless, because these people will attach it to anybody or anything that they dare disagree with. And you just have to continue to be yourself, speak up, and do not back down. And I promise you, your life will be better for it. Thank you.
Yep. Beautiful.
I'm still in the thank you from Ethan. So.
Thank you.
Well, speaking of people that matter, we've had some very patient listeners that have sent in super chats. I think it's time to give some respect to them. So first off, Cheaper People, thank you very much. He says, "Hail Caesar, may the shock troopers of his empire represent. We shall ride on and praise all caps."
Hail Centurions.
Nice.
Cotton candy haired Jeremy says, "Are we going to discuss Jeremy's mental disorder tonight with Hallmark Christmas movies. I really think we need to have an intervention. JS.
I told them because I was ranting earlier about something. I think it was a movie theater. You know, I was telling everybody I'm really confrontational in person when I'm in the movies and somebody won't stop talking. And I said, but hey, I know everybody looks at Jeremy, big alpha male Jeremy. I was like, but come Christmas time when those Hallmark movies come on, I'm right there in front of the TV, and the cheesier they are, the better they are. I love me some Hallmark Christmas movies. And they're like, oh, fuck, we're unsubbing. This is terrible. We need an intervention. And then they were like, this explains why you like The Force Awakens, Jeremy.
Here's the question. Have you ever cried watching one of those Hallmark movies?
No, I can't say I have. So, all
right, cool. I'll take your word for it.
The only time a movie can really get me in that is when it's got to do with a daughter and a father. I can't help that. And that's my out. And nobody can get mad at me for that. So,
I thought you were gonna say Toy Story movies, but
No, but Toy Story, it's awesome. I'm not feeling those teasers so far for Toy Story 4, but that's another discussion.
You know what? Nor am I, real quick. Nor am I. I didn't see anything that got me hooked.
I mean, they're not, it's not like I'm not going to go see the movie, but they're just like, it's kind of a letdown. And maybe that's the attitude they're taking an attitude like, yeah, people are going to go see this, but probably shouldn't do that, man. You got a lot riding on these. A lot.
You know what surprised me was Detective Pikachu. I thought that was going to be the dumbest movie ever. And I watched the trailer and went, I'll go watch this movie.
Still haven't seen it. And the reason I haven't watched it because I don't really know anything about Pokemon as much as I'm a big Nintendo fan. I never played Pokemon. And so the first thing I thought was, I'm not even going to watch it, but everybody wants me to react to it. So I guess I'm going to try to do a reaction tonight.
Folks, make sure you constantly tell Jeremy to play Pokemon forever in his chat.
I mean, I played Pokemon Go for like a week until it got old.
Yeah, but that's not real
no,
Pokemon.
I know.
That's like your cousin's Pokemon, the one that's weird.
Yeah.
Astaroth, thank you very much. Says, hail the High Council. Have you guys seen Hasbro's new Monopoly for millennials? If not, Google it and let the laughing begin.
It's pretty funny. You instead of money, you win experience for everything that you do. You take all these meaningless jobs and you get experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy a copy. And I collect Monopoly boards. Seriously. I got a closet full of them. That's the one I won't add.
No, I won't either. Monopoly, that game, I don't remember it being so torturous. I used to play Monopoly with my family, and I was like, it's fun. It's not fun at all. It's crap. It's a living hell. It never ends. It just goes on and on and on. They created that game during the Great Depression when peanut brain farmers had nothing better to do. And just sit there and spend like hours and hours playing a meaningless game that doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere. It's impossible to win that game. You have to be playing it for 4 days.
We play Turbo Monopoly when we're drunk.
Oh my god!
Take one of those. Was it 40-sided die from that Magic the Gathering shit? And it gets crazy. You can play a game in 2 hours. Plus, 20 beers later, it's definitely a good time.
That sounds fun. Scrabble is good though. I'll play Scrabble all day.
Ooh, I'll play that on my phone. That's a time waster, a time hole. It's like, okay, cool, 28 points. Turbo Man Jeremy says, I am the hottest selling toy this Christmas.
Oh God, I love me some Jingle All the Way.
I do too. I gotta add that we're doing a Christmas movie watch stream, obviously in December, and I got Jingle All the Way added to the list. So
Jeremy cries during Love Actually. I don't even know. I've never seen Love Actually.
Is Liam Neeson in that movie?
I think so. I saw it on Netflix the other day. I was scrolling through and I saw Liam Neeson on the cover, and I'm like, that doesn't look like Taken, but I've never seen Love Actually. I've never seen Love Actually though.
Salvador says, hail council, working and lurking, wanted to swing by and say thanks for having me on the other night, had a blast, and rest in peace Stan Lee, and rest in peace Kermie.
Thank you for that. It's
well
really
said.
thoughtful. Yeah.
Salvador was on our veterans stream, and it was a fantastic night. We had guys from all over the world that had served in the military, but YouTube found it inappropriate and demonetized it. So thank you, YouTube. Mareth Dialine, bienvenue, Grand Council. Welcome to the High Council. Grandma and I just finished watching The Hateful Eight. She wasn't a fan of that particular Western. It was a bit long for me. I saw it in theaters 5 years ago now. No, 3 years. That was the same time The Force Awakens came out because it pushed out the Hateful Eight from all the screenings. I remember that controversy.
Yeah,
that people seem to forget.
I saw it in the theater too, and it was
I'm speaking of Westerns. I've just been playing Red Dead 2 finally. And oh my gosh, I'm not even that far into it, Jeff. So don't say anything, but
I won't spoil anything for you. I will say
so
this.
Good. So good.
Did you get it for Xbox or PlayStation?
I got it for Xbox because, I mean, I have PlayStation. My PlayStation 4 is giving me some issues right now, so I didn't want to take the chance of it crapping out completely on me. So I went ahead and got it for my 1S.
Well, you guys haven't been playing my Cyberfrog video game.
We don't have beta codes, man. Hook us up.
Yeah, man.
For real.
Hook us up, man.
Good, man. It is so good. You guys are envious. Hold on.
I mean, we wish we had the inside knowledge of it, but apparently we're not cool enough to get the beta.
No, you are. You are cool enough.
No, it's fine. No, hey, it's all right. No, hey, it's okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And now the High Council has died, folks. Thank you for the
it's over.
6 months of support. We're done. Good night. Nicholas Glenn, EVS DC said he was going to get in touch with you about getting together for a live stream. He does not know you as well as Jeff and Jeremy, but wants to change that. So DC is Doomcock, not DC Comics.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I'd be happy to do that.
Doomcock's awesome.
Sorry, J. Longstroke has an interesting question. Does Mickey Mouse like Ron Howard's butt cheese?
I haven't seen Solo, so I'm not qualified to answer.
Well, Ron Howard came back and he said, "Hey, I'm open. I'm open to doing another sequel to Solo. You just have to ask me. Maybe. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I'm open to it." I was like, "You motherfucker!" I opened up a Mego Ron Howard doll and tied it up in one of my videos this week. I said, "You're not gonna fucking in it." That Ron Howard Mego doll was a voodoo doll. I said, "You're not gonna do anything. You're not gonna do anything, Opie. Hey, Opie Cunningham, you ain't doing nothing. I'm making Solo too." Yeah, I would have to assume that the mouse does like Opie's whatever.
But jeez.
Yeah.
Mirror Jeremy is here. He says, "Sir Jeremy, sir, hashtag Jer Army. Shout out to Jeff and EVS."
Glad to have you here, sir.
Thank you, Mirror Jeremy. GRP Pull Again says, "Hail Caesar and his mighty pie council. May his shock troopers forever protect the empire. Hail Centurions and Valkyries."
Hail.
Hail.
Hail War Campaign. Hail.
This is a great screen name. The Last Jedi Screwjob. What was the moment Star Wars died for you guys? Mine was after the numbness of everything else, Luke dying without actually trying to save anyone.
It was after Force Awakens. For me, I felt queasy. I saw that in the theater. I came out. I felt sick, like my head hurt. And then Han Solo's death, really, honestly. And then I saw Rogue One, and I was like, okay, all right, I feel you. I'm feeling you. And then I saw Last Jedi, and I said, "Fuck! I mean, screw this." And that was it for me.
Yeah, I mean, like, the early signs of it were at Star Wars Celebration. I've mentioned this plenty of times on my channel, but when I was on the Battlefront panel, or in the room for the Battlefront panel, and before the reveal of Battlefront 2, they asked if there were any girl gamers in the room, and there were about 12 girls, or probably 6 girls, and then 6 soy boys screamed. And then it was really awkward because you were like, why did you even ask that question? Then we got the reveal of Iden, who is the main character in Battlefront 2, female, diversity female. And at that point I was like, really? Like, are we really doing this? And so, but then The Last Jedi is when it really happened, though, finally coming to the realization that Disney is nothing. They're not in this for Star Wars. They're in this for identity politics. And even the other day, I made a long video talking about how the sequel defenders make me appreciate the prequel haters, because I've always fought with the prequel haters. And, I mentioned that Jeff, I said a lot of people look to me and say, Jeremy's our voice and everything. And that's true. But Jeremy was late to the party. People like Jeff, they were early to the party. Jeff showed up real early. He was way ahead of me. And so, but what I mean by that is, like, I always got mad at the prequel haters because they would never shut up. Never shut up, Simon Pegg. We'll get to you.
Oh, we'll talk.
Yeah.
You're for
Segue.
points we're going to cover.
And so I am very proud of the video. I think it was one of my better videos that I've made in a long time. But I talked about how when I would fight with the prequel haters, as much as I would get mad at them, and I went after them really, really bad for years. Looking back on it now, I never questioned if the prequel haters were really Star Wars fans. Never. Even as mad as I got with them, and we've had a lot of battles. But going at it with the sequel defenders, I don't feel I'm fighting with Star Wars fans. I feel like I'm fighting with people that got involved with Star Wars because of the political propaganda that's involved with it now. And they're not taking up for the sequel trilogy from a Star Wars standpoint. They're taking up from it from an identity politics standpoint.
Yeah,
not Star Wars fan. They are not here for Star Wars. They are not here to see Luke Skywalker, the Luke Skywalker from Return of the Jedi. They're not here for that. They're here to see a white male have his junk tucked in between his legs and Rey to cucked in a movie. And that's exactly what they got. They're not here for Rey to have character development. They're just here to see a woman be featured. They're here for diversity. They don't care about any of that shit. So fighting with these prequel haters all those years, it's made me look back on it and go, you guys pissed me off. I went after you. I called you names. But damn it, you love Star Wars. And these people that are defending the sequel trilogy don't give a shit about Star Wars.
What?
Yeah, Jeremy basically and Ethan are the same way I am. The Force Awakens killed it for me. It took me 6 months to watch A New Hope, which is one of my favorite movies. Number 2 on my top 4 list of perfect movies. And then I liked Rogue One. Last Jedi sucked ass. Solo. And now we're here. So The Last Jedi screw job. If you'd like to hear my thoughts on that, just check out the channel if you're not already subscribed. And by the way, Jeremy, I know you're kicking ass on the subscribers, but I'm getting close to another million viewed video.
Are you really?
Yeah. My subscribers have been but the video view counts are going up like crazy. And so my second Kathleen Kennedy video just passed 900,000 views today. It was like in the 7s not too long ago. So that's going to be my 7 million viewed video.
Damn.
I'm a little jealous.
Yeah, I gotta say, I feel the same way.
No, seriously, congratulations on that. I hope you do get another mill. It's awesome, man. And you know, we were talking before the show, right before EVS jumped in, and it feels like we're all kind of part of this same whatever this algorithm we're in right now. Like we all had we've all been in the same wave. You know, I think I jump outside of you guys a little bit when I talk about gaming stuff, you know, on the channel. But outside of that, we're all in the same wave, and we're all in that same, like right now our videos. Like I remember, Jeff, I told you, like, you know, several months ago, I posted a video. I knew. I was like, oh boy, this has got a good thumbnail. This has got a good title. You know, it's Kathleen Kennedy title, and it did like 10,000 views in the first hour. I'm like, oh bitches, oh yeah, coming for you, PewDiePie, coming for you. And the video would take off. And now, like, I'll post a video, and it's like 1,500 views after like an hour. I'm like, should I go back to retail? I mean, what's going on? But it still works out. You know, the videos still get views, obviously. But yeah, I'm glad that you got another video that's climbing that mountain. So,
dude, I thank you. I was just saying that to joke around. But one thing I noticed, talked about a couple months ago over the summer, I once trended in the UK, and I was at a Cracker Barrel, and I just kept scrolling and watching my view count go up by 1,000 in like a minute. It was insane. It was the Toys R Us video I put out. So
I love those.
I miss those. I'm gonna look for a Jeffrey's toy store or toy box, but they look like they're going into Kroger. And, you know, this is the headquarters of Kroger here, so it'll be here first. But that's just such a bizarre thing. The first non-Toys R Us Christmas in any of our lives. Doesn't that just sound hollow?
Yeah. It does.
I already read Nicholas Glenn's super chat. Dayton Pfeiffer, thank you very much. Dayton Pfeiffer says, hail to the High Council. Besides getting PS4 Spider-Man in a few weeks, I'll be wearing my Spider-Man tie as a way to honor Stan Lee during the Thanksgiving dinners I have to go to. Oh, dinners I have to go to. Well, you're lucky, Dayton Pfeiffer. I only get to go to one, and it won't be that fun. I have a Homer Simpson tie. That's about the only novelty tie I own. So maybe I should get a Spider-Man tie. I can get it shipped out before Thanksgiving. Tabsy12, thank you very much. Taking nothing away from Stan Lee's well-deserved accolades, but lost in the news is the death that hours before Stan passed away, we also lost Douglas Rain, the voice of HAL 9000 in 2001, A Space Odyssey.
Wow, that's crazy.
I know that.
I saw that. To me, that's a lot like Farrah Fawcett's death. She died, and then Michael Jackson died later that day, and nobody talked about her for many, many weeks. So, when you lose an icon like Stan Lee, you're gonna be, on the public conscious for a while, and Stan Lee deserves it. Nothing to take away from Douglas Rain. I mean, we all know that voice, but unfortunate for anybody to lose somebody. Raincoat Liquor says, when no one was looking, Ethan Van Sciver took 40 pies. He took 40 pies. That's as many as 4 10s, and that's terrible.
That is terrible. I love that book.
Let's see. Tony Alec Nowickus. I hope I said that right. I have an idea for a comic. I've put a lot of thought into planning it, but I can't draw for the life of me. I'm fairly decent at writing, though. Well, Tony, there are tons and tons of Facebook groups you can join looking for comic book artists. There's all kinds of people out there that want to, cut their teeth. And wouldn't you suggest that too, Ethan? Just go find people that want to break in, and you guys work together and produce a comic?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
This Tony's looking for an artist, and I said you should check like Facebook groups about comic book art, because there's always people trying to do comics. So I think that's the best way to find. That's how I found colorist in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many art. The thing is, really, you can find these guys on Twitter. Posting their sample artwork. Check out #ComicsGate. You'll find artists just posting like amateur artwork, fan art, and find one that you like, and then hit him up. See if he wants to do a project.
Yeah, and shoot me a message on Facebook, and I can tell you the groups that I'm in too. If you're looking for, if the hashtag doesn't work and you need more, we can help you out. Cotton Candy Haired Jeremy says, "Great answer, EVS. That clears it up for me as well."
No good.
Nicholas says, "Ethan Van Sciver, spelled Skiver, on New Hope. Ethan Van Sciver, the NPC Strike Back. Ethan Van Sciver, Return of the All Caps."
It's a trilogy.
And he's got a Jake Blues. Yeah. Oh, and Jake Blues. Yeah, that's their name. Blues Brothers icon. So that's pretty cool. Pondimus Maximus, El Jefe, Jer Binks, and Uncle Sunbeam. I truly hope you guys realize what an inspiration you are. The three of you combined is like the power of Voltron. May Stanley live forever in our hearts. Excelsior, Excelsior.
I'm the Black Line.
I don't understand what color is what on the Voltron. I usually think of Power Rangers, but I'll be the arm, right? Or the head or something?
That's
I don't give a shit.
Red or green.
Oh, long
the arms.
since I watched Voltron. I watched that when I was a kid.
Black Lion is the body and the head, so that's the big lion.
Well, I'll be the right arm because I'm right-handed. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Jeremy, you're the legs. I'll just be both arms. Fuck it.
Actually, Trump pilots the Black Lion. That is true. Donald Trump, President Trump, pilots the Black Lion. I will pilot one of the legs. I'll be the yellow lion.
Great Loner has a question. Did you guys see Marvel dumping comics at Ollie's?
Yes. 250,000 unsold Marvel comics, just dumping them out there. Like, please, we've been lying about our sales. We've got all this back stock that's getting returned that we couldn't sell, over shipping, like books that we printed, overprinted. We got to just get rid of this shit. And they did. They gave it to discount outlets to get rid of.
Now, are these actual comics or the trade paperbacks?
Actual comics.
Because DC actually had a huge dump of, I don't know how this works and who does what, but they had DC trade paperbacks for pennies on the dollar at Ollie's. I bought $300 worth many, many months ago, and I picked up good stuff too, like Batman, Superman, Public Enemies with the Blu-ray and the DVD. That was only $5. All kinds of these great DC books were picked up on the cheap, but I didn't realize Marvel was dumping their books because they can't buy them, or nobody will buy them.
It's fun. It's really fun.
Hey, it happened with Star Wars. Look at all those videos I've made about Ollie's getting that Star Wars shit, and it ain't from Toys R Us. It's from Target and other retailers too. I guess I'll have to do a video if I see countless stacks of quarter Marvel comics. I ain't gonna buy them, but Samuel Aragon, real leaders suffer for their cause, and people, power-hungry NPCs and SJWs make other people suffer for their causes. The alternative is surrender. Postmortem 666 has a great super chat that says, "Lick that muff button, please." Folks, we have 1,121 viewers currently live. Let's get 1,121 thumbs up, if you will, to keep the High Council alive and thriving.
Smash the melee button.
Boom. Final smash that shit. I can't wait to get that game, by the way.
I can't. I'm so excited.
We'll have to play online.
Yes, definitely. Oh, can't wait.
Was it December 3rd, right?
Yep.
All right, I'll be there. I got to go pre-order that.
Or is it 7th? Is it 7th?
7th. Okay. Well, I'll give myself 30, 40 minutes a day to play it because I got to work on the comic. But when that's done around New Year's, I will spend countless hours playing Smash Brothers. The Last Jedi Screwjob is back again. It says, thoughts on the Aunt May as Peter's real mom story. Ugh. Is that a thing, Ethan? Have you heard about that?
No, I haven't, but I heard a lot of people complaining about Marissa Tomei as Aunt May, and I'm just like, screw y'all. Marissa Tomei, I don't know. She's my type.
Look, Marissa Tomei's hot. I'm never going to deny that. But Aunt May is like your grandma more than your hot mom.
I mean, make her a gilf. I'm sorry. Marissa Tomei's hot stuff, and I like hot Aunt May. I'm digging hot Aunt May. Maybe it's just because I'm 44 and I'm a boomer, but hot Aunt May is for me. And I don't know how old Marissa Tomei is, but she's great. Mm-hmm. She's great. How old is she?
I think she's 50 something. Okay, Google. How old is Marissa Tomei?
Yeah.
Let's see what Google tells me.
Marissa Tomei is 53 years old.
Okay.
Really?
All right. So she's got a good 9 years on me. That's fine. It's not mom material, but it's not grandma material. Mm-hmm. But actually, no, it is. She's old enough to be someone's grandmother, just not mine.
Well, she's 30 years older than Tom Holland, so that's
perfect.
Yeah,
that makes sense. I'm sorry, she's beautiful.
She is. I'm not denying that, but I'm guessing the Last Jedi Screwjob means there's a Marvel story where Aunt May is actually Peter's mom, which makes no sense because if you read the books, Richard and Mary Parker were parents. They were. Sounds crazy, but they were spies. They died, and then Aunt May and Uncle Ben raised them as their own. I don't like when they change the core of Spider-Man. That's my favorite character. I'm not saying it has to be 1967 all over again, but there are certain you don't make Batman they made Iron Man an orphan. That was stupid. You don't make Batman. I don't know. You just don't change the characters.
Look, here's the thing. Let's be honest with it. Let's just. Steve Ditko fucked up. He did, because how old was Peter Parker when he became Spider-Man? Maybe at the oldest, he was 18 years old. How old is Aunt May? What is she, 93? How is that his aunt? How is that his aunt? I mean, Steve Ditko was a young guy. He's like, oh, it's like an aunt, so like an old lady figure. All right, so let me just draw a 98-year-old. Let me draw a mummy with a bun. Look, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Aunt May is supposed to be Peter Parker's mother's sister. That would make her, 20 to 38, maybe 40 years old. Is that a 40-year-old woman that we meet in the early issues of Spider-Man? Is she 40 years old?
Hell no, she looks
140.
65. Yeah, 140 is more accurate.
Okay, so Marissa Tomei makes more sense. Makes more sense, honestly. And yeah, we're used to seeing Aunt May look that way because that's just the way she is. But that's not an Aunt May. That's a great great grandmother. It's ridiculous.
Joe Maroney, thank you very much. The one chance for a truce with SJWs was Stanley's death, and they spat at that chance.
Sure did.
Very much so. Last Jedi Screwjob. Yef, Jer A. Brinks. Can I get your best? One of those catchphrases. Yef, your best swig of Granny's peach tea for the working man.
Okay, what?
That is. So I guess this guy, the Last Jedi Screwjob, wants us to say, like Ethan Van Sciver. So Jeremy, I'll go first. Or Jeremy, you go first. Excuse me, that's not polite.
Yeah.
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 Okay, there you go.
And then Ethan, he would like us to say, swig of Granny's peach tea for the working man.
Swig of Granny's peach tea for the working man.
There we go. I like it.
Swig of Granny's peach tea for the working man. There you go. The Last Jedi Screwjob. Thank you for helping us have some fun tonight.
Swig a canned Coca-Cola is what I got right now. So swig a Coke for the working man, everybody. Swig a Coke for the High Council. Appreciate all of you joining us. Smash the melee button if you don't mind. It's just a simple request from a simple man. That's all. You don't have to do it. I'm just asking you. That's what I do on my live stream. Simple request from a simple man.
Are you Dusty Rhodes now? I know he's the common man.
Hard time. Let me talk about some hard time, Jeff. Some hard time.
Now I know the three of us are always busy with the channel and our projects, but do you ever have time to listen to podcasts, Jeremy?
I mean, the only ones I would listen to when I do is hours with Geeks and Gamers, because we have a podcast network. But I mean, if you ask me to listen to something, I will.
I was say check out like 83 Weeks with Eric Bischoff and a couple of those out of that network.
Does he have a pod out now?
Oh, dude, he's many months.
I love listening to Bischoff and his old war stories, dude. So I love Bischoff. I've got his book, so I love Bischoff. So Bischoff is fascinating to me because he really stood toe to toe with the biggest titan in the business, and he took him down for a little while. Yeah. It was short lived, but there ain't another person walking this planet that could have took Vince down even for a short time, and he did it. He went toe to toe with the biggest man on the block, and he took him down, and nobody else could have ever done that. So.
Now, let's take a break from the Super Chats because there's two topics, Star Wars topics. These people are all here for the Star Wars. So let's talk about the Simon Pegg situation, because I know you guys really want to talk about this. And
I'm the only one here who likes Simon Pegg. You guys all hate him. I like him.
That's not true. Hot Fuzz is one of my favorite movies, as was Shaun of the Dead.
Right. I look, I can separate the art from the artist. So I like him. I like him in the Mission Impossible movies. I like him in Star Trek. I like, his zombie movies, all that stuff. But it's personally though, he's such a dick bag. So
okay, well, no, I'm with you then, because all I like him in is his movies. I have no opinion about him personally at all. He might be a dick.
Yeah, I can't stand him because he's such a flaming hypocrite when it comes to Star Wars, and
Tell me why.
Crazy. So, I mean, so I pulled as we're talking about this, as Jeff said, we're going to talk about it. So he can't stop bitching about the prequels, and he can't stop bitching about George Lucas. He's always been the most vocal prequel hater. And then, a few years ago, before The Force Awakens came out, he said, I don't really have any respect for anyone that likes those movies. Or let's see, he said, I don't really have any respect for anyone who thinks those films are good. They're not. A monumental misunderstanding of what the original three films are about. It's an exercise in utter, I don't know what that word is, but he says it's like George Lucas killing his kid.
Is it infanticide?
Yeah. And so it's like, Now he's flipping the script. Now he's crying because we don't have George anymore. That's what he just said, right? What is the quote? What is his new quote now, Jeff? What is he saying?
This is what he says. I must admit, watching the last Star Wars film, The Last Jedi, the overriding feeling I got when it came out was, I miss George Lucas. For all the complaining that I'd done about him in the prequels, there was something amazing about his imagination. I do feel like his voice is missing from the current ones.
Exactly. And again, you can get mad about the execution of the prequels, and I'm not going to argue with you on that. There's execution problems. They're really, especially in the first two. But the ideas in the prequels were not the problem. So don't sit there and tell me it's a monumental misunderstanding of what the original films were. It's a monumental mistake that he made with the execution of them, but the ideas in the prequels were good. And so Pegg for 15 years would not shut up about this. He just wouldn't shut up. And people like him just would not let it go. And again, you can not like them. That's fine. But the hyperbole behind all of their criticisms about like George Lucas killing his kid. And now what are you saying? Now you are apologizing because you were wrong all those years. And it just drives me crazy that he won't stop this crap. And, just so we know, so I can get the crowd on my side, John Campea is also on Simon Pegg's side. So there you go. Dude, I'm pulling a Mick Foley. All right. It's good to be here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, or whatever, get
bang,
that
bang.
cheap pop. So,
dude, the thing with Simon Pegg though, is his whole career started with Spaced, and Spaced has a couple episodes about the prequels, and I can't believe George Lucas killed Star Wars. That's really how he kind of came to relevance back in early 2000 whenever space was on TV. It's a great show. I do like his work. And I don't really know much about him personally, but I don't think I'd want to be friends with the guy. But like you, I can separate it. But the dude is 1 minute he likes Star Wars, 1 minute he hates it. The dude was in The Force Awakens. So he can't be that anti-Disney Star Wars shit. But he's always just saying the wrong shit at the wrong time. All this does is continue to lump on crap from the To the Last Jedi. It's like a year removed. Hey, it wasn't that good now. It's like people are open to say shit about the movie finally.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's just frustrating because, like I said, man, this guy just seems to he seems that with Star Wars, he seems to not really have a true grounded opinion. It's like he just kind of goes with whatever the way the wind blows. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's cool to. And again, I know people that I'm good friends with. Like even Jeff, I don't think you really like the prequels that much, do you?
I hate to say it, but watching episodes 7, 8, and whatever else, it kind of makes me go back and go, I like parts of 1, I like 3, and 2 is
yeah. And so, I mean, I know I've got really good friends that just fundamentally disagree with me on the prequels in terms of like my defense of them. But they agree that the story is good. The story is good. It's the execution of the story. And again, you need the execution. You do. And there are cringe parts, especially in episode 2. There are cringe parts. I cringe thinking about it right now. Revenge of the Sith, though, I'll fight you on that. But it's just that it felt like for a while it was popular. It was cool to hate the prequels. And that's so Simon Pegg, it's cool to hate the prequels, you know, screw these guys. And now it's beginning cool to hate the sequel trilogy now, you know, and it just seems like he just goes whatever way the wind blows. So
what do you think, Ethan? Anything else you want to add?
I think he's got complicated feelings. I think they're wrapped up in his friendship with J.J. Abrams. You know, I think he's got he's like me. He's a great big Star Wars fan who initially, he doesn't stand alone in making fun of those prequel movies when they came out. I recall everyone doing it and driving George Lucas nuts. The problem is now he's a big player in Hollywood. He's friends with J.J. Abrams. Both of them sit around and take the piss out of Rian Johnson together. You know it. I mean, in every time there's an article about Simon Pegg, he's complaining about what Rian Johnson did. And the implication is that he sits there and listens to his friend J.J. Abrams moan about it. So I respect that. You know, I respect people who take the piss out of Rian Johnson. I think that's, a good thing to do. And I think that's honorable. I get that. But I think no, I don't. I'm not hating on him. I'm not hating on him because I have to say, he's come to the realization that a lot of us have, that those prequel movies were naive and sweet. They were George Lucas, independent of people telling him what to do. So it's pretty much purely George Lucas with the biggest toy box ever. And now that we see the evil of Disney Star Wars, we got to go back and kind of apologize to Lucas. I have sympathy. I sympathize with Simon Pegg, and I don't know.
I guess I would feel a little better about where his position is if he just wasn't so adamant, because he was so adamant about the prequel hate, like to the point where, like I said, this quote where he just flat out says, "I don't have any respect for anyone who thinks those films are good." Like that was his mentality all those years. Like he would just act like you were beneath him if you liked the prequels. And again, it's one thing if you don't like them and you're like, hey, if that's your thing, that's your thing, but I don't like them. And all of the stuff about how, he went after George so much. And that was always my beef with it was, like I was always a big critic of Zack Snyder and the DCEU. And people are like, well, you defended George. Yeah, George created Star Wars. Zack Snyder didn't create the Justice League in DC. Okay. So, so when people were like so critical of George Lucas, I'm like, look, you can be critical. That's fine. This is George Lucas. He is the reason we have this universe. So it doesn't mean he's above being criticized, but understand who you're criticizing is all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, understand who you're criticizing. You are criticizing the man that invented this amazing world that we all love and cherish. So just put some respect on your name. I would go full Birdman on that. Put some respect on George's name. So,
Well, I mean, George Lucas did end Star Wars with a bang, and then he kept it alive. Like, no matter what Simon Pegg wanted to say or anybody that wants to criticize Lucas, he kept the first 3 movies relevant and, holy for a while. And then with the prequels, it got iffy. But man, he ended 3 strong. Clone Wars came out, and that shit kept Star Wars going. And then, Disney ruined it all.
Yeah. Yep.
So
it's so bad. It's so bad right now. But I will say, at least people are coming around on the prequels now, and it's been fighting that battle for a while. So people are coming around now. So I can respect that.
You know what the prequels were? First of all, the original trilogy is like I'm going to use a food analogy, and so all the people who keep calling me fat will enjoy this. The original trilogy is like filet mignon, and you're just like And then the prequel trilogy, suddenly it's like kind of like Hamburger Helper a little bit. And you're like, ew, like I want that filet mignon. And then the Disney Star Wars is coming out, and it's literally dog shit. Okay. And that's what you're having to eat. You're having to eat poop. And at that point, you're just like, that Hamburger Helper wasn't so bad. You know what I mean? You're like, maybe I missed out on the Hamburger Helper as you're shoveling dog poop into your mouth to survive. I'm picturing this happening on the Andes Mountains.
Well, not to say that because I don't prefer the prequels to the original trilogy, because I don't, but I do prefer Hamburger Helper to filet mignons.
Do you really?
What are you?
I'm a simple man, okay? I ain't paying all that money for fucking filet mignon. Give me a $1.99 box of Hamburger Helper, and I'm happy.
What
I'm
if somebody's paying for your filet mignon?
Yeah, I don't understand why you'd say
I don't know.
prefer it.
I remember, so a couple years ago, because we used to have a really big Facebook group for Geeks and Gamers that had like 20,000 members. And, we got invited to Chicago with Facebook invited us to Chicago. They paid for that. All I had to do was drive there or get there. And they put us up in this really nice hotel. They fed us the whole time we're there. Then there was one night where they paid for all of us to have dinner, and it was catered in. There was shit I couldn't pronounce. And I'm like, can somebody get me a double cheeseburger? I don't know what the hell all this is. I'm a simple man. So swig of Dr. Pepper and a double cheeseburger for the working man. That's it. So
you're awesome, dude. I love it. You're so funny. Yeah. I feel you too. I feel you on that too. But there's really good food out there that you need to try, man.
Bjorn says Jer can't chew.
Oh.
Somebody earlier in my live stream, it was so funny because somebody said they're talking about me when Hallmark movies, and they're like, Jeremy drinks Tab, like that Tab drink. I've never even had Tab, and it made me laugh my ass off. Because
it sucks so bad, dude. No wonder.
Yeah, I was like, how random is it that you would say I drink Tab?
You drink Royal Crown, RC Cola. That's
I used to work for them.
Yeah.
Did you really? You worked for RC Cola?
Yeah, well, here it was RC 7-Up, and then they got bought by Dr. Pepper, but I worked for RC. I used to get off of work, and they're like, hey, come pick up your check and go into the cooler and take what you want. It's just RC and 7-Up and Sunkist. And I was just like, ugh. Hey, thanks.
Yeah, I just don't like, I don't do fancy restaurants. Look, it's like me. Look, I prefer the Dollar General to the Walmart, because you don't have to get dressed up like you do for Walmart to go to Dollar General. You know what I mean? So,
I just can't wait to meet you in Chicago personally, because it's like, oh, what do you want to do? Well, I'd like to go to McDonald's and have dinner. And Ethan and I will just be like, we're not, man.
Yeah, we're.
That's what I keep telling you guys. Like everybody, they see me on camera, they see my personality, and they think I'm just like this. I'm just a real simple person. I just want to do my thing,
Jeremy, like seriously, when you meet Jeremy, it's like, I know you and I've known you my whole life. Like that's the feeling that you get with Jeremy. He makes you really comfortable. He's familiar. You already know him, and he's already your pal. But Jeremy, I will say this. I'm going to take you out for a good look, because I hear you about the burger but I'm going to take you out for a good steak, man. I'm going to take you out for
chicken fingers, man.
No, you're not ordering off the kiddie menu. You're going to get a good, like a Flintstones, a tomahawk steak, dude. And you're going to be like, Thank you, Ethan. With garlic mashed potatoes, you're gonna be like, thank you, and big beers, big frosty beers, and you're
I
gonna
don't
have
drink
these with me and
beer. I
Jeff.
don't drink beer.
I love your style, Ethan. We're like
Yeah.
food spirit animals. Oh,
Dude, yeah. If you're gonna eat, you gotta eat. Don't eat garbage. Like if you're gonna take in calories, like a double cheeseburger, man, do it right. Get out there and eat real food.
You know, I went to the doctor a few years ago and had a whole. No, I'm not. No, it was just for a checkup. No, it's just for a checkup. And my everything, I was like totally healthy. And I said, "How is this possible, bro?" And he's like, "Did you call me bro?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I called you bro." But like, how is this possible, bro? Like, I have the worst diet ever. You know what I mean? I have really high metabolism, so I'm always on the move, very active. But yeah, I don't know how. I'm incredibly healthy, and I don't know how because I really don't eat very well. I really don't. So,
do you get around a lot, right? Do you exercise?
mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can eat whatever you want, probably.
Yeah.
You can't out-train a bad diet. Trust
You
me.
know, look, everybody's told me that. Somebody in the comments says they'll catch up with me. They've been saying that since I was like 15. I'm 39. I'm good. And everybody thinks I'm 25. So, and yeah, I'm good. So I don't sleep much because I'm always working. So look, when it catches up to me, I ain't gonna give a shit anyway. You know what I mean? Like,
No,
whatever.
you got this far. I mean,
Yeah.
when you get to your 50s and 60s, man, you go ahead and just start looking like Homer Simpson. And
Yeah. Yeah. It's at that point, I'm not going to care. Like, whatever, man. I'm just going to sit around in my underwear and play video games. I'm not going to give a shit,
I can't wait till there's 60-year-olds playing video games, our generation.
Yes.
That's going to be so funny.
Oh, man. So
now, before we get into our next segment with the Mandalorian and strong emphasis on the word man.
It is a man, right?
Yes, we have confirmation.
This might be the first transitioning Star Wars character, so let's just hold off on that.
Oh, don't make me puke on air, please.
Yeah, it'll be the Kardashian Jenner version of the Bruce Jenner version. I
was like, Kim Kardashian Mandalorian. That's going to be interesting.
That'd be nice.
I get them all mixed up with the Jenner and the
big booty fat.
So.
That hit me funnier than it should.
I will
say though, to be fair, yes, it's good that it is a man that they are casting in this role. So all jokes aside, that's a good sign.
Fuck it. Let's just talk about it for a minute. So this comes from Variety. It says Pedro Pascal to lead the Mandalorian series. Pedro Pascal has been tapped to star in Star Wars: The Mandalorian, which is expected to premiere on the Disney streaming service Disney+. His name has previously been rumored for the role, but sources say he was one of the many actors being considered. Now, insiders tell Variety that he has been offered the role and negotiations are underway. Jon Favreau penned the series, which is set after the fall of the Empire and before the emergence of the First Order. Follows the travails of a lone gunfighter, blah, blah, blah. Do you think they could afford to subvert our expectations and give us some weird political ideology in this show?
Look, I've said from the start, this is outside of the Clone Wars, which I do have reason to not be as excited for the Clone Wars now with the news that they canceled the Clone Wars because it was too violent, back in 2012. But outside of the Clone Wars and maybe Respawn's Star Wars game, like this is probably the project I'm looking forward to the most. Not because I'm really like Mandalorians are cool, but I love Jon Favreau. And that's come from someone that didn't like the Jungle Book, but I love Jon Favreau. I know he loves Star Wars. And with Filoni directing the first episode and having George on set, and I know a lot of people were making a big deal like, oh, George doesn't look happy. Dude's like 70 something. You know what I'm saying? He didn't give a shit about no picture. He just wants, oh God, you want to take a picture. But having George on set was cool. I'm cautiously optimistic about this series. So that's how I feel about it. Ethan?
I don't give it. I couldn't care. I'm very excited. I can't wait. I'm sure this is going to be wonderful. Yeah, I'll watch it. I just don't trust these people at all. The only thing I'm looking forward to right now, honestly, is Star Wars Episode 9, just because I know it's going to be a catastrophe, but it might be fun. So I legitimately am looking forward to Episode 9. As I was saying today on one of my videos, I said they've got J.J. Abrams, a man who can start a story but cannot finish a story. They've got him finishing up a Star Wars trilogy and cleaning up after Rian Johnson's mess, and Carrie Fisher is dead. I mean, I can't fathom a bigger catastrophe than that. So, I'm looking forward to seeing that and seeing how he cleans that up. I will watch The Mandalorian. Am I going to watch this new Rogue One? Are you guys going to watch the Rogue One series?
I have zero interest in that. Zero interest.
I don't like that guy's face, man. I don't like his face.
I said it today. I said, I want you guys to understand something. These are the people that are in charge of Star Wars right now. They sat around, and they just said, okay, what do we have? We have the Old Republic. We have Revan. We have Darth Maul. We have Ahsoka. We have all of this mythology, all of these characters. Let's make a Cassian movie or a show. Who the hell thought that was a good idea? With all of the opportunity you have, you decided to have a Cassian series. What?
He was the only one that said yes.
Jesus,
Christ, I agree with you. Like, but Pablo Hidalgo was making fun of it. Like, no, he was making fun of us. He's like, just waiting for Ethan to do the Cassian t-shirt. I'm like, I fucking will. Sorry, Pablo, I will do that. Thank you for that, and I will sell 1 million of them. You can't be acting like this is a great idea. It's a character. It's the character. Nobody wants this.
No, he was terrible.
I just want to grab Kathleen Kennedy by the shoulders and shake her horsey face. Nobody wants this. Nobody wants this. What you're doing, they don't want it. You canceled Boba Fett, you idiot. You canceled Obi-Wan Kenobi, you jackass. Nobody wants this shit. And then you take some ancillary character from Rogue One, a movie everybody's already forgotten about. You want to make like a 12-part TV show about this? What the hell is wrong with you? What the hell is wrong with you? And she'd look at me with her eyes that look in different directions and are too close together, floating around her enormous horsey long face. And she'd go, what the hell is wrong with you that you did this? And you cancel Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's the only movies that the only thing anybody wants out of Lucasfilm. They want Obi-Wan Kenobi. They're like, yeah, Ewan McGregor. We dig that. We could put a little Jabba the Hutt in there. Between episodes 3 and 4. Yeah. Go ahead, do that. And then you sold us with the James Mangold Boba Fett movie, like a Western, like a post-Civil War kind of Western. Yes, of course, do that. And they cancel both of those and then they do the Mandalorian, which is a bootleg Kroger brand Boba Fett thing. I'm stealing your shit there, Jeff. Sorry.
Oh, it's cool.
Kroger brand Boba Fett. Kroger brand Boba Fett TV show. And then they take another bootleg dude who, I mean, honestly, he could have been any one of the dudes in the X-Wings in the background of A New Hope. And it would have been more interesting. They picked the most boring looking mofo from Rogue One, and they build a whole TV show around him. And Pablo Hidalgo doesn't want me to make a shirt calling it soy based. You clown. Of course I'm going to do that.
It's so bad.
It's infuriating, dude. It is infuriating.
But my guess is the only reason they're doing that is so they can reuse all the Stormtrooper armor they remade for the Jon Favreau series. Because if they said it in that time frame, it's like, we can use the same shit and save money.
Well, whatever. Jason Ward's going to jack it all anyway, so lurking around the set, stealing stuff.
You think he's listening right now?
Yeah, of course he is.
Probably. And you know what Rogue One is? Do you know what Rogue One is? Rogue One without Vader in the marketing is Solo, $400 million movie. That's what it is.
Yeah,
that's what it is. And I know there's people out there that like Rogue One, and that's fine. But without Vader in the marketing, that is not a $1 billion film. It's not even a $500 film.
Why would
$500 million film?
Why wouldn't you make a Darth Vader TV show, you idiots? What are you waiting for? Why wouldn't you make a Darth Vader TV show?
Again, there is not a single Star Wars fan on the planet that does not want something to do with the Old Republic right now. And a TV series is a perfect way to begin introducing the Old Republic, and you picked Cassian.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm sitting here like I'm on the edge, guys. I'm on the edge over the stupidity of Lucasfilm right now. They're just nibbling at the edges, like, well, let's just do this esoteric shit with all the money we have. No, you, dude. Okay, I understand. I understand that, like, you can't get Harrison Ford. Carrie Fisher's gone. Mark Hamill is just effing with you right now. Like, he's just messing with you. Because he's kind of like a sadist. He's enjoying your pain. Okay, you've got some characters that are, anybody can be. You proved it with Chewbacca and Solo. Anybody can be Chewbacca. You can have Chewbacca in every movie from here on out. R2D2, probably C3PO. Just get a gay man, put him in a tin can. You've got C3PO. Now, Darth Vader is the same. Just get a tall guy, put him in a Darth Vader suit. You can get somebody to imitate what's his name's voice. James, what's his name?
Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones. Yeah, you can get somebody to imitate his voice. And then there you go. Boom. You call it Vader. You have a show called Vader, and it's a 12-episode maxi series. And are you kidding me? It would blow the minds of fandom. You actually let people into Vader's world, and you build on his whole story, his whole universe, in a way that wasn't, Revenge of the Sith. That's cool. Pick it up after Revenge of the Sith. We're talking massive, successful box office franchise, and they take some ancillary character from Rogue One who's dead. He died already. He died. Oh my God. I'm guys, I don't know. I'm gonna throw things in a second.
Have you ever a Krennic story would have been far better than a damn Cassian story.
I feel like we got all of Krennic's story in Rogue One.
Yeah, but if you're looking at it just from purely of what the potential is, Ben Mendelsohn giving us more of Krennic versus Diego Luna giving us more of Cassian,
More nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you guys heard of a movie called Y Tu Mama Tambien?
No.
You should watch it because it has the guy that plays Cassian Andor in it. It was like the first movie I ever saw him in, but it's about two dudes that over like a spring break, they hook up with this older woman and they each start sleeping with her. And then the Cassian Andor guy goes down on his best friend and it kills their relationship. And it just ends on the most boring, sad note possible. So every time I watch Rogue One, I think of him in that. And I just it doesn't inspire me for an action hero. Why can't the action heroes, be cool, be inspiring, be, I don't know, worthwhile? Cassian Andor was pennied out, dude, for 3 cents a figure at Walmart. So that shows you how much people love Cassian Andor.
Yep.
By the way, if anybody in the chat wants to make a design for me, a t-shirt design of Cass Soyan, a Star Wars story, a Soy Wars story, go ahead and do that for me, please. I want to make it just to blow Pablo Hidalgo's mind. I don't care how many we sell. I just want to make that shirt and then offer it where he can see it. He'll be like, see, I told you they were going to do that. I love messing with Pablo Hidalgo. He's one of my favorite people in Star Wars.
Our friend Samuel Aragon talks about your other favorite person in Star Wars, Rose Tico. Crazy in the head, crazy in the bed.
Yeah, hell yeah. And why wouldn't they make a Rose Tico TV show, you idiots?
Like, I agree with you on that one. Why not Rose?
Oh my God.
Matrix Wars, thank you very much. Hail High Council. I turned 24 today, so first off, Matrix Wars, happy birthday from all of us.
Happy birthday.
Cut my party short to come to the High Council. Love you guys. Shameless self-promotion here. Rest in peace, Stanley. Matrix Wars, I hope you have a good birthday, man. My 24th birthday was not memorable. It was 6 years ago. Not memorable at all.
Yeah,
Ethan,
I was gonna say we appreciate the love and we hope you have a good birthday for sure.
Oh yeah, man. This will be your favorite episode of the High Council, Matrix Wars. Ethan, were you working in comics when you were 24, right?
Yes, I was. Yeah, I was working at DC when I was 24.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was all right. One of my first gigs, I think. No, I was doing Impulse when I was 24, making like $150 a page and starving. It sucked.
Well, thankfully times have changed.
Times have changed. That's right.
Let's see. Alexander P, thank you very much. Like Crenshaw on SNL, needs more moments like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I didn't. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Let us know in the chat, Alexander P. I'm sorry, that was a little vague. I don't watch SNL anymore. Cotton Candy Haired Jeremy says official release for Game of Thrones season 7 will be April 2019. Are you guys?
What was that? I'm sorry, I was reading a tweet.
This comes from Cotton Candy Haired Jeremy that says official release for Game of Thrones season 7 will be April 2019.
Really? See, somebody said that to me in a live stream earlier, and I forgot to look into it. And I mean, I get so much information thrown at me during the live streams, and so it's like a mountain of information. So that's sooner than I thought. That's actually a lot sooner than I thought. I thought it was going to be like later on 2019. So I'm happy about it. I'm excited about it. I love Game of Thrones. So I know a lot of people, I guess they complained about the last 2 seasons. I found no issues with the last 2 seasons. So.
Well, I haven't seen more than one episode, so I'll have to catch up.
Missing out, man. Missing out.
My listeners on Good Morning Pop Culture are trying to get me to watch Lord of the Rings relatively soon, so I guess I gotta.
Have you seen Lord of the Rings?
That's really good.
I will. I went to see. Was it Fellowship? Is that the first one, right?
Fellowship. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that in theaters when it came out at the cheap theater, and I fell asleep. And then the next day, I went to see Attack of the Clones. So.
Well, I never was into the books or anything, so I didn't know the story. So my girlfriend at the time wanted to go see, Fellowship because she was big into that. And so I went and watched Fellowship and I was like, this is fucking boring, and then I watched Two Towers. I was like, oh my God, okay, this is awesome. And so I went back and watched Fellowship, understood it more, and then watched Return of the King. And Return of the King is one of the great films ever made. I mean, the whole entire, that's probably the single best made set of films. Like just objectively, they're phenomenal in every single way.
Peter Jackson, yeah.
So they really are.
He's come a long way.
I guess so, yeah. But I mean, Dead Alive was great, and Meet the Feebles was one of the best movies ever made. And Meet the Feebles.
That's so weird.
Heroin addicted, junkie Muppet show. Like if you like the Muppets, you'll love Meet the Feebles. Kermit the Frog is a heroin addict. Miss Piggy's a whore, and it's he got a lot of money for that. Like the government of New Zealand gave him an art grant to make a good movie, and he made Junkie Muppet show called Meet the Feebles. Enjoy it.
I think Bad Taste is a really good first movie. A lot of people, I mean, Clerks, that's a really good first movie too. But Bad Taste, folks, if you haven't seen it, it's about a New Zealand defense force that fight aliens that come to their town to abduct human beings to sell them off as fast food in their galaxy. And Peter Jackson himself is in the movie. He's a decent actor in that. I mean, he's funny. That's what it was supposed to be. He's funny. Jeremy, you should definitely watch it. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Testify HD says we need a comic book showing what will happen to soy boys if they keep up their shit. They will be locked in a room, taped to a chair with Beetlejuice playing on repeat. The second movie will be Wall-E. I like Beetlejuice.
I do too. Do you remember the song from Meet the Feebles where the guy's like, sodomy? You may think it's very odd of me that I enjoy the act of sodomy.
Oh, dude, I have seen Meet the Feebles once.
Oh, really?
A long time ago. I saw it in college.
It's a really good movie. And then they machine gun him, which is, I don't know.
His old movies are getting 4K transfers.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I want to see I had Meet the Feebles on a cheap VHS tape. And I would like to see it perfectly. I'd love to see it in perfect transfer. So I will buy that. I'll definitely buy that.
Yeah, I'm going to support Peter Jackson. I like his work. I haven't seen everything he's done, obviously, but what I've seen, I like The Frighteners a lot, too. That's a good movie.
Frighteners was great. Yeah, they got Arlie Ermy in that. That was great, too.
Good old Michael J. Fox. I think that was one of his last movies where he acted before the Parkinson's really kind of kicked in too hard and he wasn't able to perform.
Yeah.
I want to live in an alternate world where Mark Hamill doesn't have a Twitter account.
What did he say now?
God damn it. He just tweeted this tweet from these women, and it says, for centuries, men have had their chance to rule government with middling to poor results. Who's ready to let women take charge completely? Just women. I know I am. Oh my God. Oh
Hello,
my
Germany.
just I want to live in a world where he doesn't have a Twitter account. That's what I want to live in.
It's hard to feel sorry for him.
Good Lord.
Just sucking on that sea monster booby milk, like a little cuck, giving up on the world, giving up on his manhood. That whole scene where they hand him his lightsaber, it represented his penis. He just throws it over his shoulder, He's given up on even like trying to be a man anymore. He let Ryan Johnson, who is like Ryan Johnson is about as low T as you get. Like, he's probably the lowest T human being in the world. But then there's Mark Hamill. So he's second most low T. He let Ryan Johnson destroy his whole legacy as Luke Skywalker. He let him show Luke Skywalker receiving a phallic object from a woman, like, here's your penis back, loser. And then he takes it and throws it over his shoulder and immediately goes and sucks on the nipples of a sea monster. And that was commentary. That was Ryan Johnson saying, this is you. This is what I think of you and your manhood. And he just went along with it. That vacant, like, looking on Mark Hamill's face right now. Yeah, like that little edge that he's got now. It's all because of that. He was happy for a few years. Now he just wants women to take over. Now he wants to be back. Now he wants mommy. He wants mommy again. Well, some of us don't want mommy. Some of us want God Emperor Daddy Trump. And there's no way this country is going to relent. We will have the patriarchy back again. We're fighting for the patriarchy. Mark Hamill, you cannot stop the patriarchy. I'm sorry. All of you cuckolds, you can't stop the patriarchy. It is getting bigger. It's growing. We're winning. What do you mean you've given men a chance? Have you seen what women do? They can't even drive. You want to give them control of the country? You want to give them control of the world? What are you, nuts?
I just retweeted somebody that said, where is it at? Let me go back to my Twitter account. It says, how about we vote in people based on merit and not sex, race, religion? I don't know. Just throwing that out there. Yes. That's it. It's that freaking simple.
So let's see, where was I at on here? Sorry, the Mark Hamill thing.
It's awful. I mean, I hate when guys do that. Why don't you stand up for your gender? For goodness sakes. I give up. We just can't do anything right. Ladies, take it from here. Are you kidding me? You want to get in the bitch seat? Don't do it. Stand up for yourself, man. I mean, don't let go. Don't let go. Don't let go. Stand up. Stand up. Be a man. You could be a man. Like the Godfather. I don't know what's going on with this generation. I really, truly don't. What is it?
How do you preach about diversity and then just say women should all take over?
Oh, Iwazaru goes, women stink. It's the Women Haters Club. Women stink.
Club.
Oh God. No, we love the women, but I mean the idea of men, here's the thing. Honestly, women can lead, here and there. They can. I mean, look at, Sarah, what's her name? Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Look at Sarah Palin. Look at the many, Margaret Thatcher. Look at all the great women who have led. There's no doubt that women can lead. It's just this idea of this certain kind of soy boy. And I'm sorry, guys, the term is becoming more and more important. When you are the type of guy who goes, can men just stop? Can we just
cancel men? Cancel men. Can we
cancel men? Masculinity is so fragile. You're talking about yourself. No. When you say we just give up, let's just let's see what women can do. What is wrong with these people? What is wrong with these people? These penis abdicators. What is the matter with you?
That should be a shirt. You sell penis abdicators.
Oh my God, I can't take anymore. The sooner, look, you know, I know, but the sooner this all comes to an end, the better. Whenever the aliens come, I'm waiting for the aliens. I don't know.
Well, again, you have to understand too that women are only as important as they can use for their advantage. So, like, is that true, Mark? Is that true, Mark? Well, what about Roseanne? What about Roseanne? I'm sure you were really against Roseanne, weren't you? Huh? You know, and every time that there's a woman involved with the Trump administration, they don't seem to respect women all of a sudden. You know what I mean? It's only the women they can use to push their ideology. They do not give a shit about anything they talk about because they criticize Melania all the time. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, she's a badass, and they criticize the hell out of her all the time. How'd Jim Acosta feel about respecting women when that White House intern did what the president of the United States told her to do? Jim Acosta's just going to sit there and, like, you would get suspended in the NFL if you touched a referee like that.
But he chopped her arm right off.
Right.
Oh,
it's all about respecting women, though, right? You know, it's such bullshit. And when people like Mark Hamill get on social media and do that, they're doing nothing but treating these people like circus animals. That's all they're doing. You don't believe what you're saying. All you want is people that are going to push your ideology because you don't really care. Like, you don't really care. You're just trying to push your ideology and you're trying to project because you do nothing but criticize these women that are on the different side of the political landscape than you all day long. They dismiss them.
You know what it is? You know what it really is, though? What it really is I'm depressed. I'm depressed right now. I'm not feeling so good. I could use I need some dopamine. I need a little rush of adrenaline I need a lot of praise from people, preferably women, who I'll never meet on the interwebs. How can I do? All right, I'm just going to tweet out something irresponsible. Men, can we just stop being men? Can we just let women take over? They'll do it all better than us. And then you sit back and wait for the approval of Twitter and the internet. And then you get that little rush of dopamine and, lose a little testosterone, but it's worth it for the hit of dopamine. And that's what it is, man. That's all it is. These people are depressed and they just need a hit of dopamine. They're dopamine dopes. How can we stop them, Jeff?
I don't know.
Somebody in the chat said, "Poor Jeff's just trying to sit there, stay neutral and non-political."
I know. I'm even thinking that, like, you wouldn't believe. My sub count is dropping like crazy. Well, it is. But I don't care. I have to speak the truth. I have to speak.
I'm just still entertained by penis abdicators. I keep thinking of Paul Feig. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I really like that phrase.
I really wish that I could talk to Mark Hamill right now because they're like, "Hey, Mark, so you're all about respecting women. What's your opinion of Tomi Lahren? How do you feel about her? Since you're all about let women take over, how do you feel about Tomi Lahren?
How about
do you feel
Ann
about her?
Coulter? Yeah. How about if we let Ann Coulter run the world? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, and then you'll find out how phony his projection is because
how do you feel about Camelia Paglia? We'll let her take over the world. She's a woman.
Mm-hmm. Who is that?
She's a right-wing feminist. She's funny.
Yeah, so it's ridiculous, man. So,
I feel out of the loop. The biggest thing in my world outside of the stuff I talk about publicly is finishing Uncharted 3. So I'll be simple Jeremy tonight. That's what you guys can call me from now on. Apparently, though, we're out of the loop because Mundane Matt beat us to the punch. That's a name we care about. No, he's talking about that Lucasfilm Glassdoor thing. Have you guys heard about that?
No.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe it. Maybe I'm wrong.
Glassdoor's pretty legit. And some of those reviews predate Kathleen Kennedy. So, because a lot of people are talking about the CEO or whatever, and I guess there was this other woman before Kathleen Kennedy was involved. It's legit. I can tell you. I mean, Glassdoor is known as, I'm not saying every single thing on there, but it's known as a good source.
No, what I meant is I saw all these screenshots, and then I went to Glassdoor, I made an account, and I couldn't find but one negative one recently. And then I kept going back, and I was just seeing kind of neutral reviews. I thought it was a non-story.
let's see. Let me go because it's like what is it like a 3.4 out of 5 overall is what it is.
Yeah, I mean that sounds normal.
Restore Lucasfilm. Let me look this up. Yeah, you have to sign into Gmail to actually read it. So,
I love it how you guys talk politics and then my sub count dropped 20.
Yeah, mine did too. My sub count like plummeted. I had gotten up over 81,000. I was like, yeah, feeling pretty good, and then whoop, right back down.
I would like to just get out of 75,000.
No, I think no, guys. Even before we started, my sub count dropped by 40. I think it's one of these things that just happens. Like you see your sub just suddenly you refresh and it just drops. Like that happens to me all the time. Yeah, that happened to me even before we started on the politics. I went from because I was refreshing and I went from 91,677 and I dropped to 91,647.
So it wasn't my penis abdication speech about how women can't even drive.
Unless Mike Zero was informing them that it was about to be said, I don't think so.
I will take that hit for the phrase penis abdicator. I'm sorry. I'm not going to let that one go. I really like it.
You can have it. Take it.
I would say put it on a t-shirt, but that would send the wrong message. So
Yeah.
So here's some recent ones. The most recent one, there's a 1-star. Let's see, a 1-star says disapproves of CEO, worked at Lucasfilm full time, more than 10 years. Pros, talented and good people, film industry. Cons, discrimination, politics, management, clicks, HR. And then here's another one that was on August 17th. Says it's okay. Gave it a 3 out of 5. Doesn't recommend. Negative outlook. No opinion of the CEO. But yeah, I don't see any new ones. So you're right about that, Jeff.
I got the information and I was like, oh man, this is a big story. And then I kept looking and looking and looking and looking. I'm like, okay.
The reason I didn't run with it was because I don't question the legitimacy of the reviews, but it's like you can cherry pick anything to fit a narrative if you want, so like, you can find 5 or 6 people on the internet that says something horrible about anything or anybody, but what is the overall thing? And so you look at that and it's 3.4 out of 5. That's probably par for the course for most companies. You know what I mean? So,
I still like the whole fake accounts for Star Wars Resistance scores on Rotten Tomatoes. That's a story we covered a while ago, but I still enjoy that story because the numbers keep going up the more and more fake reviews. Have you looked into that, right?
I have not, but I think Ivan is actually looking into that for the channel. I think he's going to be releasing a video very soon for that for Geeks and Gamers.
Yeah, I did it when the first or second episode came out. I did that, and I was like, or maybe all 3 came out at once. My point is, I did it a while ago when it was 96% fake accounts, and what I considered a fake account was when it had just been made, and the only thing they have ever done on Rotten Tomatoes is give Star Wars Resistance a 5-star rating, nothing else. I'm like, okay, that you exist to rate 5 stars for Star Wars. Good for you. I hope you've abdicated your penis quite quickly. Cotton candy haired Jeremy. He says Doomcock recommended a book on his Stanley stream last night called Slugfest, the 50-year battle between Marvel and DC. Have any of you read it?
No.
Nor have I. I haven't even heard of it. But I'm going to take a screenshot of that so I can add it to my list.
Alex Jones Jr. says, Jeremy, speak up. You're very quiet. Man, I've been rolling. I've been on fire for the most of this. I've been trying to back up and let Jeff actually host a show because I was ranting earlier.
Yeah. So, I love it, though. You know what? The High Council's all of us, man. Yeah. We got to be firing on all cylinders.
So, yeah, I mean, we're really like we have a good feel for how the show's going, and we, there's going to be times where one talks more than the other, but we've got the flow down for sure. Feeling the flow.
I thought
Happy Gilmore. So.
It's all in
working it, feeling the flow.
So there's a channel that I watch, Retro Blasting, and they have a Facebook page and they posted stuff about Grizzly Adams today, and I commented, so Grizzly Adams did have a beard, and like nobody got that reference. I was so upset.
Disappointing, man. Yeah.
I don't know.
We had a few live streams over in Geeks and Gamers where all they did was quoted Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore. I'm like, I've never been prouder of this community. Never.
Guys, come over and quote Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore with me. I love those movies. I got them on DVD, VHS. I used to love Adam Sandler. Used to.
Adam Sandler can do no wrong for me. I don't care how many terrible movies he makes. He always made Billy Madison, and he always made Happy Gilmore. And there's a lot of other movies he did that I like, but those are he is never going to run out of goodwill with me.
I like his Phone Wallet Key song.
I like everything he's done except for Jack and Jill.
Yeah,
pretty much.
You're still cool in my book then. David Stevens says, don't let the NPC memes distract you from the truth. Morpheus was right about the Matrix. Someone find the red pill. Rest in peace, Stan.
Yeah.
Yep.
OJ Martinez says, these NPCs that keep spewing those words have now become the boy who cried wolf. No one cares.
Very true.
Yeah, they eat themselves, man. You just got to step back and watch it happen. Thai TV says, it's Thai TV, not TV, Jeremy. Rest in peace, Stanley.
Say what?
Thai TV says, it's Thai TV, not TV, Jeremy. Rest in peace, Stanley. I guess you said Thai TV's name wrong once.
Oh, that wouldn't be the first. It won't be the last. So.
Crap, my not set watch. Sorry. Kevathar1138, again, thank you very much for a giant super chat. I have a theory. Feige wants to replace aging actors in the MCU and the SJW Marvel from a few years ago. Let him do that while gaining points. He is committed now, but with Disney having the rights, why not do FF and X-Men for 10 years, then recast Captain America, etc.? I'll answer that. I think the X-Men, if they're going to do it, they're going to have to find a way to start fresh. You can't just have the first mutants pop up. And they're in a weird place too, because Marvel proper is going to get the rights to the X-Men universe, we still have Phoenix, we still have all these things. So it's going to be like, oh, these movies came out and now we're rebooting it at the same time. I'm still of the mindset that there will never be a release for New Mutants and X-Men Dark Phoenix. Those are just not going to come out. They'll maybe get like a home video release or some shit. But I think that Disney's going to just reboot and forget those. What do you guys say about this?
X-Men's in a really weird spot right now, and I really don't know what they're going to do with the X-Men universe. I still have not given up hope that Hugh Jackman's he's going to return. Like, it's just but I don't think that's the right move. I think they need a fresh start. But I mean, has there been any rumors on that with Hugh Jackman?
Mm-mm. I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, and I mean, it's so sad that we waited for him to have his all-time great film, and it's the one that they ended it on. You know what I mean? And it's like, man, we finally got that film that we felt he deserved, and so I still feel that's going to happen. And as far as there's so much up in the air with Infinity War 2. We were talking about that earlier on the live stream. People were saying Infinity War 2 can't top Infinity War 1, which I kind of feel like it can't eat 2, but it's like, are they going to try to incorporate all of this in part 2? Like, what are they going to do? You know what I mean?
Well, you heard about the runtime, right? It's the longest one yet.
Yeah. And so I feel like they're going to try to incorporate a lot of that into it. And it's just like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
We always like to tell listeners what we talk about off air. And Jeremy and I had a couple-minute discussion before Ethan joined us. We were talking about Infinity War and how great it was. Imagine if this movie just shits the bed and we leave disappointed. Are you done with the MCU if that's the case?
You talking about Infinity War 2?
Yeah, if it just sucks. Like, it's full of garbage and rhetoric that doesn't belong, and all of a sudden it's just like, what the fuck did I just watch? Like, what if you have one of those Force Awakens moments for me?
Yeah, I mean, I was not in a good place with the MCU when Infinity War came out. That's not to say I wasn't happy with a lot of what they've done, but I just felt a lot of fatigue. I didn't like Doctor Strange, Spider-Man: Homecoming. Initially I liked the Homecoming when I first saw it, and then as soon as I walked out, I was just kind of like, I don't really like this movie. You know what I mean? I like Tom Holland, but there was just a lot of MCU movies. I like Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was like the only one I really liked a lot in recent years, I think. But Infinity War blew me away. And every time I've watched Infinity War since, it's gotten even better. And I put Infinity War up there. Like, it's in that Dark Knight Batman Begins range for me. Like, it's so goddamn great. And I'm glad that it doesn't, like with The Force Awakens, that movie needed the next film to be great, to stay great, for me anyway. Infinity War doesn't need Infinity War 2 to be great, but Infinity War 2 needs to it needs to be great for the MCU to stay great for me, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, Infinity War 2 being shitty is not going to take away my love for Infinity War 1, but if Infinity War 2 is not great, and it can really hurt where I stand with the MCU.
Kevithar also, I do like the idea of, well, it depends on who dies as well. I mean, seriously, if Iron Man or Captain America die, that's going to be bizarre. Have you seen the rumor that both Bucky and Falcon are going to take over for Cap? I don't like that at all. And then they're all going to go into the quantum realm because all these images from the merchandising leaked. There was like a conference or something in Asia, and now they all wear these purple and white armor suits in the next movie. So they're going to actually have Avengers team uniforms. So I don't know how you guys feel about that. I just am like, it's okay. I just hope the story's good. That's all I can say.
Sounds goofy. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna suck. I'm counting on Captain Marvel being the greatest film ever made, and if it's anything less, I'll be crushed and angry.
Well, I bought 12 tickets already. They're not even on sale, but I bought one. I might get more for our listeners out there, so we can I might go rent out a theater. I'll take all the Stealing Solo money and rent out a theater for a night, just to prove how important Captain Marvel truly is.
I can tell. I can't wait to not expect that character, that woman, Brie Larson, to smile. I would never ask her to smile. That's rude. It's sexist. I would never do that. And women don't have to smile because men never do. Men never have to smile. So why should women have to smile? Why should they? Because men never do, by the way. And nobody ever asks men to smile. So stop asking these women to smile. Stop asking Captain Marvel to smile. Now,
because it's not like Henry Cavill was criticized through the whole, Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. That never happened. They never said anything. But it's sexist to say it for Brie Larson.
Yeah,
sorry to interrupt you.
I was never somebody who said the reason. By the way, I never said this. I never said the problem that DC Comics has with the New 52 is that it's lost its smile. These characters are known for being smiley and happy. It's like the Super Friends, and now they're all grim and they're pains in the ass. I mean, they're stoic assholes. They're just garbage. And so I can't wait to go and feel. I can't wait to go and feel like I'm walking on eggshells in the movie theater. I don't want to offend Brie Larson from my seat. I don't want to. I'm just going to ask very little of her and let her be a bitch. And I am not going to say a word, not one word about it. And I think it's going to be a success. Also, I hope all of the men who died in Infinity War stay dead because it's about time that Squirrel Girl came in and saved the day. It's her turn. It's her turn.
I'm just laughing. I'm sorry. Kevin, one more thing. Since this was a $50 super chat, I'm not going to breeze over it real quick. Ethan, you've talked about with me your love of FF. Will it work in the MCU?
Yeah, of course it will. Yeah, they'll get it right. The MCU gets it right,
All right, cool. I want to become a Fantastic Four fan, like a big one, because I love the concept. I just haven't seen good execution in my lifetime. So
the movie's not very good.
None of them. There are 4 of them. None of them good. I'll take the Roger Corman poorly produced one before I'll take the 20th Century Fox big budget release that flopped.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I have liked all of them just because I'm a big Fantastic Four fan, but they're not Fantastic Four. I don't know what the movies are, but they're really not. The only thing that's Fantastic Four about the first 2, aside from Corman, get Corman out of here. But the first 2 is the relationship between Johnny Storm and the Thing is absolutely perfect in both of those movies. They really get those guys correct. The rest of it's kind of garbage. Doctor Doom is terrible. Absolutely terrible. The worst. I don't know. Here's how to make Doctor Doom, dummies. It's just Darth Vader. That's all it is. It's just Darth Vader. You would have gotten them right. But they didn't. I would just go and I would read those Jack Kirby, Stan Lee comics. They're fantastic. They're so good. or the John Byrne run from the 1980s. If you want to become a Fantastic Four fan, man.
I'm already a John Byrne fan, so I'll go check those out. Now,
Yeah,
did he write and draw those, or just?
You bet he did. From I think
Okay.
issue 238 to maybe 298. So it's a pretty good 60 issue run, and it is as good as Stan and Jack, and that's saying something.
Ooh. I do like John Byrne's work a lot. I know some people have differing opinions on him or this and that, but there's just something about his art that just grabs me always. And I like his Superman too. I know some people are like, no, I just love the way he looks when he draws Superman. It's very heroic, and he's got the John Byrne face, but I like the John Byrne face. I buy into it.
Yeah.
Idia Hugima, thank you very much. Says, I, Caesar, the readers salute you. We could turn Jeff and Jeremy into dual Pokemon. Then J&J can fight against JJ.
Nice.
To be fair, Idia Hugima, my initials are JJ, much like JJ Abrams, sadly. So, Justin Bass, thank you very much. Jeremy was very PC back in the day online. I was too. It got to the point where you said if you didn't like a movie in a thread about that movie, if you said you didn't like a movie in a thread about that movie, you were a troll. I'm proud of Jeremy. Look at you now.
I don't know what the other part is. I mean, at the end of the day, I've always been an asshole. I just didn't want to be an asshole on the internet because, I got family and all that shit. But, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Be yourself. It's really what it comes down to. So, I surrounded myself with people at Geeks and Gamers that I tried to find people because I knew at some point I was going to, I knew my true self would come out. I'm an asshole. I like to confront people. I like to fight with people. I like to argue with people. I like to tell you what I think. I like to rant. And so I surrounded myself at Geeks and Gamers with people that could completely offset me politically, socially, and everything like that. And what I found out was that those motherfuckers are pieces of shit. And they simply turned their back on me the moment I tried to come out and tell people I was a Trump supporter because they could not deal with the fact that I let them write left-wing shit on my website that I own. I allowed them to turn my website into a left-wing fucking nut job site because that's what they wanted to do. Because I knew when Daddy walked through the door and told everybody I was a Trump supporter, I was going to be the loudest mofo in the room. So I knew as soon as I did it, and people were coming after me saying, "Oh, you're just all about your political opinion, bitch. Go look at my website." Okay, I'm not scared of a different opinion, but what I learned is when you bring those people in, they will turn their back on you the moment they hear anything out of your mouth that they don't agree with because they don't have a backbone. They don't care. They can't stand up for what they believe in. They can't stand up to you if you have a difference of opinion. They need you to repeat their opinion to them. I don't need that shit. So it took me a while to get here, but I'm here and I ain't going nowhere and nobody can stop me.
Nobody's going to stop you. And yeah, amen, buddy.
So
Let's say thank you.
Thank you. Sorry.
Gotta end every rant.
I forgot. I know. I'm going to do it from now on. Every time I go on my rant on the High Council, I will end with a thank you. That way, everybody knows I'm done. And that's a shout out to my boy EVS.
Yeah, and you're anticipating applause. When you say thank you, you're thanking them in advance for their applause.
All right, I'm going to steal that one from EVS. I'm taking it.
it.
It's just. I'm not going to repeat it because I don't want to get us a strike on YouTube. But it's just like in Clerks 2. I'm taking it back. So, but I'm not going to repeat that. I'm not repeating.
If I buy you a shirt with that taped on the back, would you wear it with me in a photo?
Yes, just as long as you're there to protect me from the wave of hate that's coming our way.
Oh, of course. I'm taking it back too. Gojirify says Jeremy cries during Love Actually.
Yeah, that's the one I read earlier. Never seen. Is Love Actually a good Christmas movie?
You're asking the wrong person.
Oh, yeah, this is true. Yeah, hey, for any Jason Ward, since you're watching, let us know. Is Love Actually a good Christmas movie?
Yeah, really.
Mr. V says, so we're getting the Mandalorian after all. Looks like that's the case, Mr. V. Jeremy Osteen is here. He says, hail to the High Council and hail Jeremy. With all the super chats you're getting, do you think you can find it in your heart to give a small donation towards my private jet? I mean, my church. Hallelujah. Amen.
Praise Jesus. Praise ComicsGate. Praise Cyberfrog. Cyberfrog brings all the money in.
Woman.
Praise Ethan Van Sciver. Praise Jeff, because he's got a lot of money is coming to the what is it called? The solo. What is it? Stealing solo. So we don't steal at the church of Jeremy Osteen. We beg for your stuff, and we act like we're gonna do good things with it. So if you want to get a little bit closer to the Lord, give us your monies. Wamen.
Woman.
Let's see. That says, Say Brav says, Santa Claus Conquers the Martian. Must-see movie. I've seen it. We watched it in high school. I had an art teacher named Mr. Beeman. He goes, men, you need to learn about Christmas the right way. And we thought we had to watch some religious movie. Nope, it was Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. Purify says, Tom Brevoort is a disgusting garbage thing.
Yeah, he is.
Steve Fernald says, Pedro Pascal is the Mandalorian. Looks like that's the case there, Steve. Commander Cody, Luke died by holding in a fart. Okay.
I don't know if that's true. Is that canon?
It might be. I mean, look at Grand Moff Tarkin.
No, it's true.
Yeah, I'll believe anything they tell me about Star Wars now. The Last Jedi Screwjob says, the First Order reigns. How? Oh, no answer. I'm sure Star Wars Resistance is answering that, right, guys?
Yeah.
I have not watched an episode, thankfully.
Nicholas Glenn says, Angry Joe's Red Dead review just came out. It's funny.
I'm sure it is. I mean, Angry Joe, that's what he's known for is his angry reviews for video games. So I'm sure it's great. I'm sure he's put a lot of production into that. So I might actually watch that one.
Yeah, I used to watch Angry Joe and all the Channel Awesome people 2009-ish, but I've stopped. It's not even anything personally against Angry Joe. I don't dislike him. Anybody from Channel Awesome has kind of overstayed their welcome for me. But good for him, man. He's got millions of subs, so...
Joe lost a lot of momentum when he went off on that Battlefield 5 thing, man. Ooh, that was bad. He lost. I mean, for him, it's nothing because he's got like 2.5 million subs. So I mean, he was losing. He lost like, I don't know, like 10, 15, 20,000 subs just in a few days after he went off on that Battlefield Respect Whammon and called everybody racist and sexist for having that opinion.
Yeah.
So I was like, what is wrong with you, Joe? What is wrong with you? It's like the fall of like Eminem going like Eminem destroy mofos, destroying them, and then Daddy Trump walked up and Eminem turned into a soy boy. Notice me, Donald. Notice me. Notice my diss track. It was so bad, like the Great's Fall.
Bad. Yeah.
So
pathetic.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see where we're at. Secret Rebel, thank you very much. Hey, what's up, High Council? Rest in peace, Stan Lee. Say, would you guys be up for playing Pie in the Face game and live streaming it? Would be hilarious to see.
I don't know if EVS would stand for that. He doesn't want to waste any pie.
Yeah, pie in the face as long as my mouth is open.
As long as I don't have to wear a good shirt, then sure, I'll definitely do it. I feel like we're gonna have some crazy live streams in Chicago. That's all I can say.
It's gonna be nuts.
Mirrored Jeremy says Star Wars was over for me when Luke tossed his saber.
Yep. That's a good point.
Sad day.
Paladin ZX says, would you guys ever make a High Council comic? If so, what would it be like?
There would be a lot of pie. There would be a lot of Jeremy personalities. And then Jeff would constantly be correcting my mispronunciation of words.
Dude, I got it. The Jer army goes rogue. They get infected by some like the techno something virus from X-Men. They just get infected and we have to fight off the clone army of Jeremy.
Oh, that'd be good.
There we go. That's our comic coming 2029. I hope this show can last till 2029. Fuck, I'd love it, man.
Why wouldn't it?
Over the last decade. Hanging out on the High Council.
Yeah.
Let's see where we at. Mega Jetty 1, thank you very much. Jeff Allen Turner here, and you can bet on that.
Mega Jetty's got Jeff's Best Bets on his YouTube channel. He's been talking about me and you a lot, world class, in a good way, and he just started his YouTube channel up, so he's just trying to get some recognition.
Oh, then shout out to Mega Jet. Is the channel Mega Jetty 1 or is it Jeffrey Allen Turner?
I don't remember. I know because he always was super chatting us as Mega Jetty 1. I can't remember.
Well,
He's been plugging the hell out of it. So
like I tell everyone that listens to the channel, guys, join our Facebook page and you can promote your channels on there. I try to help out tons and tons of YouTubers because people are like, man, we're inspired by your content. We want to make our own. More power to you guys. The best of luck. And I will talk about it when I can. So don't ever hesitate to put your YouTube stuff on our Facebook page. I always encourage it. TLJ Screwjob, thank you very much again. Subscribe to all of you because of The Last Jedi. I was in a dark place because my friends thought I was crazy for not liking it. One even said, "Why are you so cynical?"
I hear you, man. I mean, look, I piggybacking off what I was talking about earlier, like I didn't know what I was going to get when I started, speaking out against The Last Jedi, because I kind of surrounded myself with a community that was going to eat up Star Wars no matter what, and when I started realizing it, I was like, man, I don't know what's going to happen, but I got to say it. And more and more people, I can't tell you how many emails I get from people. And they're like, I was looking for somebody to confirm what I was feeling, and I found your channel, and it's amazing because we all want to love Star Wars. We all wanted to love The Last Jedi. We all wanted to believe that we were just, no, it can't be as bad as I'm thinking. It can't be. And it took some of us a little bit longer to get there. But once we started realizing it, and then we started finding other people that we could relate to and connect with and find out I'm not alone in this. And I'm not sexist and racist like Lucasfilm continues to want to say I am. I just wanted Star Wars, and I didn't get Star Wars. I got identity politics, and it's bullshit. Thank you.
That was good.
I mean, we have really built a community, and people become friends. That's one of my favorite things where people are like, oh, yeah, we became friends in your Facebook group, and now we have our own channel together and stuff. So, TLJ Screwjob, even when people say, oh, you're cynical, this and that, be true to yourself. That's my advice.
Yep.
John Wayland of the Wayland Utani Group says, hey, EVS, how is Comicsgate Money treating all caps in short divorce? Any plans to open a pie feed farm and forget any roots you had to Comicsgate?
No. And the money is awesome. My subscribers are good. I need a character like yours, Jeremy. I need a Reverend. I need an Ethan Osteen. I can't do it. I just can't do it. Instead, I'll just say everything's dried up. It's a nightmare and a disaster. The end of the world.
Oh man.
TLJ Screwjob also says you guys really helped me out, and Mahler's videos.
Mahler's awesome.
Yeah, Mahler. I got to talk to him. He's in a different time zone, so he could never make the High Council. But maybe
I don't know how he does that. Does he write his? That guy can talk, man.
He is vicious. Man, it's
rapid
amazing.
fire. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it must be a British thing.
Yeah, he's savage, man. It's great.
Hey, I'm on one of his next videos, so I'm excited for that. I pre-recorded some stuff. I like that guy even before I ever worked with him on the channel. Just great content. Jedi Rider says, hi, guys. Hi, Jedi Rider. Eddie Max of Andor. Hello, Jeremy, Ethan Von Shriver, and Dion's friend.
That's pretty good.
All right, I get known as Dion's friend. He's a good friend to have, so I'll take that title, too. The Honest Review says, the one thing I miss in Star Wars, aliens with primary colors. Ethan, you're an artist. Why is everything so grimdark these days, do you think?
Because people are embarrassed by bright colors and the light of day. Honestly, I mean, it's sad. It's very sad. Everything is every movie is the color blue. It has a blue tinged layer over it, and it's dark, and everyone's miserable. You can't tell what's going on. In the meantime, you look at Avengers, and most of Avengers takes place in daylight, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It looks great. You get to see the superheroes flying around the city. It's really creepy when, in a post-Avengers world where you see the superheroes interacting with daylight and everything, to go back to darkness and rain and everything and all that nonsense when you're trying to make a Superman movie, doesn't work. It really feels dated. It feels like the 90s. It feels like you're trying to remake Todd McFarlane's Spawn, guest starring John Leguizamo. It's like,
Dude, it's them chasing that Dark Knight high. The Oscars, the $1 billion box office, that's all it was.
Yeah.
Remember how everything was inspired by the Dark Knight because it was the biggest thing ever. Then everything wanted to be the Avengers because now it's the biggest thing ever. So whatever comes next will be the most ripped off thing for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
Well, like right now, it feels like to some extent, not to the Dark Knight level of how people were trying to rip stuff off, but like if you look at Thor Ragnarok, and it was almost like it was trying to get the Guardians effect. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I didn't like Ragnarok that much. So,
but you're not alone in that one, man. That's the one Marvel movie I've never watched a single clip from again since seeing the movie in theaters, and I don't hate it. That is my least favorite MCU flick. Well, that's tough.
My least might be. I mean, and maybe I need to watch Doctor Strange again because I've had people come after me left and right. It's like, what the hell's wrong with you? I didn't like it.
Yeah, what is wrong with you?
I didn't like it, but I think my least favorite is probably still Thor: The Dark World, because even though I didn't like Ragnarok, at least it there was some funny moments, and I liked a little bit of the back and forth, and I did like Tessa Thompson in the movie. I thought she was badass, but the Dark World was just bad. So.
Yeah, I guess the only positive I have is Kat Dennings, but yeah. Gojira, TLJ Screwjob says Granny's peach tea like in BVS because Jer peed in a cup on a High Council episode. I thought it was funny.
That was crazy.
You'll never forget that. Was
it your first appearance on the show?
The first time I hosted.
Oh, okay.
So, because I was like, I ain't walking away from this shit. I'm fixing to pee right here. I don't care. So, hey man, look. Simple man, okay? Give me a cup, I'll pee. So,
can somebody make a simple man Jeremy profile and post the most basic shit
you gotta be kidding me. All of this is an outrage. Simple man, give me a cup, I'll pee.
Oh man.
We learn more and more about you each week.
I know.
That is the beauty of the High Council. It
isn't. It isn't. I don't want to learn about Jeremy peeing in cups. I don't want to know that.
Well, now we know in Chicago the cups around Jeremy because he'll pee in it.
You will, yeah.
Gojirify says you missed my super chat. Gojirify, I read it a moment ago. Actually, we were just a little behind, but I did read your super chat for sure about Jeremy and Love Actually. Let's see. What did y'all think of MT Aunt May's What the Fuck ending from Mega Jetty 1?
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't either. I gotta look it up.
I have no idea. I don't know what that is.
I'm gonna Google Aunt May's ending. I'm guessing it's being Peter Parker's mother. So, no thank you. No thank you. Mega Jetty 1, I'll look into it though. Here's a fun question from Thai TV, guys. Blondes, brunettes, or redheads? Which do you prefer?
Brunettes. I like them dark.
All?
That's a good answer. Yeah. All.
I don't know. It's all. I don't really have a preference.
Green, blue.
Yeah, when the hair color is that shade, I stay away.
I like my women with their head shaved on the side, and then I like what's left of their short ass hair. Basically, I like what Katy Perry did to her head. Just shave it like a mental patient, and then dye what's left primary color, and then look at me wide eyed and never smile. That's the kind of woman I like. I like to keep one eye open when I'm sleeping with my woman. Because I'm afraid she's going to wake up and stab me or forcibly abdicate my penis.
You know how to pick them, Ethan. You definitely know how to pick them.
No, my woman is good. She's normal. My woman is good.
To answer your question, blondes and brunettes are cool. I don't know. I take that back. There was this redhead at Costco not too long ago, and I was like, I guess I like redheads now too. Cotton Candy Hair Jeremy, thank you very much. Do any of you know who the real Doomcock is, and what mainstream or semi-mainstream stuff has he been involved with?
Doomcock is prepared to take over the world, so we are not at liberty to say anything beyond that.
Yeah, there's all kinds of YouTube stuff we know. We just can't share it with you, or else Doomcock will kill us.
That's right.
And I don't really want to die. Things are getting really good. Plus, if I die, there's no stealing solo, and a lot of people are going to be really pissed. So
True.
we can't blow up Doomcock's secret identity.
We don't want a dead Jeremy account yet.
There's now one. Guarantee it. Sorry,
Caitlin Alba said earlier we're up to like 117 Jeremy accounts now. She's got like she's got a Twitter account where she keeps up with all this. And then Star Wars for Life has created an Instagram account for Jeremy, and they got a meme marathon going on, and it's crazy. So yeah,
I'm surprised there's not multiple Cecil accounts. What happened to Cecil with us?
Cecil was in the comments earlier. I think I saw Cecil in the comments.
I still like Cecil.
He's right there. He's talking right now.
Oh,
there
sorry.
Is,
I have a different window open.
He said Doomcock is mundane.
Oh God, we got catfished. Oh my God, that would be disappointing. My God, that'd be the greatest.
That would be the greatest. No, that would be the greatest thing ever. That would be Vince McMahon. It was me, Austin. It was me all along.
Oh my God, I would feel heartbroken. Please, Doomcock, don't be him. Don't be the boulder holder. Sarah J. Longstroke. Hi, Council. What is the cringiest moment / scene in Star Wars? I'd say that damn Jedi rock scene in Return of the Jedi. I almost feel embarrassed for watching it. Ethan, will you take that offensive shit about Return of the Jedi?
Yeah, I have to agree. Listen, I like Return of the Jedi, but I like the original untampered with, unaltered version of Return of the Jedi. Is there anything good in Return of the Jedi, the special edition? What did they add to it that was good? Anything?
The end song is better than Yub Nub.
It is. The end song is so much better.
They gave the Sarlacc pit a beak. You know, I wasn't.
They made the Ewoks blink.
Yeah. No,
they took away the internal conflict of Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. It's all. Let's see. What's cringy about Star Wars is that one scene. Everything where George Lucas gets cute is cringy to me. When he gets cute, when he thinks he's being cute and for the kids, it's cringe every time.
Yeah, a lot of the Jar Jar whoopee shit is cringe. So, or when Jar Jar steps in shit, that is cringe. A poop joke in Star Wars, and then that llama. That space llama farts in his face. No.
It's just horrible, dude. It's horrible. I don't know. He thinks kids are stupid. God, all that cartoon stuff. It's like, hey, let's get a Star Wars movie and put Roger Rabbit in it. It's like, no. No, don't do that. And I wasn't there to say to him, don't do that. I would go back in time and say that to him right now. I'd say, don't do that. Don't put Roger Rabbit in Phantom Menace. Take Roger Rabbit out of Phantom Menace, and I think I would have saved the world.
You already have, Ethan.
I think we're gonna have a fight with Yub Nub versus the special edition ending song.
Well, I will listen to both after the High Council tonight, and I will still pick the one I think is amazing, and Yub Nub is shit. That is, I mean, I love Star Wars, and Return of the Jedi is a fine movie, but man, the original ending, that music is so dumb.
I don't like it. There's a lot of nostalgia in that for people, and that's fine, but yeah.
Yeah. There are some great Star Wars songs in Return of the Jedi, but man, Yub Nub ain't one. Like in the pantheon of all Star Wars music, I'd put Yub Nub at the bottom.
No, you wouldn't.
Wouldn't I?
Say good night, my friends.
Oh, that's not
good
real
night, my friends. Yeah.
Hey, Arthur. I invite you to the High Council.
Yeah.
That's
in there. No, she's not. She's mercifully, she has died. She's no longer with us. The good Lord, in his infinite wisdom and his mercy, took her from the planet. So she's no longer with us. Don't worry.
I'm going to spoil your Christmas gifts. I'm going to give you guys each a Golden Girls coloring book.
Really?
Yeah, they exist. I saw it at Michael's Crafts.
And did you actually see the really good action figures from like Sideshow? It wasn't. It was like Miko or something. Not Miko.
NECA.
NECA. There it is. Those were good.
I kind of want those.
I'm getting them. I already ordered them. I'm getting them naked live stream.
Ooh, I'm gonna watch that one.
Are you?
Yeah, of course. I'm gonna watch that one.
Okay.
I mean, that's the social event of this season.
I will denude the Golden Girls live We'll see what they
you for
got.
being a friend. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you
They
for being
do
a
have a
friend.
Married with Children small action figure set, 3 3/4 inch. I will be buying those. That is my
Really?
next. Yeah, all of them. It's the whole family, not just one ugly Peg Bundy figure. I think it even includes the dog Buck. So I've been watching that show on Hulu. That's what I do in my free time now. God, I love it.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. If you threw a party, invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, "Thank you for denuding me on a live stream." Thank you for denuding me on a live stream. Thank you.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Thanks a lot.
Oh my
Good
god.
stuff.
OJ Martinez, don't know why they call it Hamburger Helper. Does just fine on its own. I guess OJ stands for Cousin Eddie.
I just lost four subscribers while I was doing that.
They're not your friends, Ethan. Don't thank them.
I lost 60 subscribers so far in this stream, and just 4 more just because I sang them a song about being my friend. Yeah, they're not my friends.
I just gained one.
You did?
I was almost past this damn 75,000 hump, getting closer and closer, and now I'm back. That's okay. I'll just keep putting out more content. Shannon McDaniel, excuse me, hired him, but didn't direct the best Star Wars movie. I guess, are we talking about George Lucas still? I think George Lucas did direct the best Star Wars movie, A New Hope. That's just my opinion. McKinney90 says, we'll have to catch the High Council later on. Have a great night, gentlemen, and everyone in the chat. McKinney90, thank you very, very much. Gojirify says, Dirty Doug has nothing on Disgusting Jeremy. Is that Doug TeNapel, Ethan?
Yeah, Doug TeNapel is filthy, and he does not shower at all. And he talks about it a lot, and then he makes people look at his hands while he draws. Now, his hands look like a skeleton's hand, like skeletal hands with thin yellowing wax paper pulled over it and assorted liver spots. It is highly disturbing. It looks like he's been embalmed. So yeah, it is. I understand why people are concerned. I understand their concerns.
Well, we love you, Doug. Clean up. Jedi Rider, thank you very much. Hail the High Council. For the past 2 months, I've been stuck home because I had a bad injury, and listening to you guys has kept me sane for 2 months. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Glad to hear that, really. That's
Thank
awesome.
you, not Jeremy. Why am I thanking you, dude? No, thank you, Jedi Rider. Gojirify says, fancy restaurants don't do Jeremy.
Yeah.
True.
I kind of hope that becomes a phrase. They don't do Jeremy. I would use that more often.
I'm good with that.
Nicholas
Simple
Glenn
man.
says, Jeremy is giving us folks from Alabama a bad name. We love good food here. EVS set him straight when you guys meet. Steak, lamb, orzo, beef Wellington, etc.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Chicken fingers, wings,
If
burgers.
if you were, what are you, 40? You said you're 39 now, right?
Yep.
If you were 9 years old, I would say this is okay. But not anymore.
I mean, I play video games, I watch Star Wars, and I eat double cheeseburgers. So that's what I
Do
do.
you also poop in a shack and you keep what you eat?
No, I'm pretty conservative when it comes to poop. You know, I do poop in a restroom where you're supposed to.
I pee in a cup. I eat chicken wings. I'm 12. My name is Earl. Oh man. Let's see. Herpicus McDurpington says, they've said the Mandalorian will be a man. My bullshit readings are off the chart. Gojirify says, Mandalorian starts as a man, gets killed, and his sister takes over secretly, never taking her helmet off in public. Do I hear a little piano?
Yeah, I hear a little piano.
I'm just playing along with you. I'm being quiet about it though.
Oh, don't stop. I was just wondering. I didn't want to cut you off from singing, from regaling us. You can play us something sad real quick.
Okay.
RF official. J.J. Abrams has stated that he wants to start a lesbian romance theme within episode 9 between Rose and Ray. Thoughts? What are your guys?
What?
I was gonna say, what are your guys' thoughts on this Rose Tico Ray lesbian romance that J.J. Abrams wants to promote?
What are you talking about?
That's what our friend RFO official sent in a super chat.
I don't believe it's true.
I hope it's not.
It can't be true.
Darth Requel May says, morons, 60-year-olds are already playing video games.
That's right.
Dylan Morningstar says, do you think Adam Driver cares about Star Wars?
I don't think I don't get the vibe that he does. But maybe he just doesn't care about the identity politics side of Star Wars, and because he doesn't seem interested in any of the stuff they talk about. You know what I mean? Like any of the media stuff that they get into. So maybe he just doesn't like Disney Star Wars.
Do you think Adam Driver cares about Lena Dunham?
Unfortunately, he does more than any human being should.
Well, my best friend Dion has the hots for her, so.
Well,
yeah, I know.
You won't have any competition.
That's what I tell him every week. You're my best friend. You'll always be my best friend. If you want to marry Lena Dunham, go ahead. I won't even touch what she touches.
I wouldn't come to the wedding, and he'd stop being my friend. Like, I would immediately dump a friend who married Lena Dunham. I would say I never understood you, as it turns out, and I don't understand you anymore. Get out of here. And you probably smell now. And so that would be it. That'd be the end of my friendship.
She is kind of squishy, and who knows what's in there.
I don't want to know. Imagine that. Like, no. No. It's okay to be squishy, but it's just like, no. It's not okay to be like a pork-faced bucktooth, like far left weirdo. It's not okay.
Well, we refer to her as Dion's little muff crumb on the channel, so I know it's disgusting. It's disgusting. I was hungry now when we were talking about filet mignon and orzo and all that stuff, but nope, muff crumbs just really kill.
Yeah, that's really disgusting.
It is, man. Gojirify says nibble baka.
Oh.
Jason Miller says, I've said it before, Nolan to make a Vader film or series. Jeremy, this guy is your best friend, right? Jason Miller?
I mean, people have always asked me about a Nolan Star Wars, and like I don't really want Nolan to get involved with Star Wars. And first of all, for the obvious reasons, number one, he would never even go near the Lucasfilm right now. And number two, though, I want Nolan to continue making original stuff, and I just don't think obviously he can make anything work, but I just think that it's not the best project for him to get involved with. You know, if he was going to do anything Star Wars, I think Old Republic would be the way to go.
Horang the Boomerang says, at Ethan, they canceled Clone Wars because it was too violent. Why the hell would they make Vader?
I don't know. You know what? Listen, that was different. That was a cartoon. Now I'm talking about a live action show. I would like to see an R-rated, what would be an R-rated Vader show on streaming service. I think you can do whatever you want to do there. I want to see Vader crush people's heads. Literally crush their heads. What do you think of that idea?
Love it.
He crushed people's throats and cut off their hands, so why the hell not, man?
Yeah. I want to see him do lots of things. So yeah, I think I don't think saying a cartoon is too violent. They're apples and oranges.
Well, I watched Clone Wars, and I've seen a couple of the scenes they considered too violent, and I was just like, not really. If I had a kid, I'd let them watch this show.
Yeah.
Very harmless television series. If anything, it's just high adventure and fun.
Yeah, I want it to be rated R, though, the Vader show, because I want him to say the F word and the MF word.
What about an X-rated Darth Vader film, much in the vein of The Crying Game, except he takes off his pants to reveal he has no wang? So he's been a penis abdicator the whole time.
Yeah, penislessness.
Wow. That's a plot I'd watch.
Yeah, could be.
Nicholas Glenn says Mark Hamill's Twitter is cringe.
Yes, it is.
Michael Pronesti says respect women, but don't let them park.
Yeah.
Twistle of Mobius says lady here, and honestly, I don't like the fact that our entertainment constantly belittles young men instead of encouraging good character and strength.
Amen.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of moms feel that way. They just don't express it. There was one lady that posted about her son, how she's embarrassed he's a male or something. And I was like, that is not a thing I would say to children. But oh well, I'm not a father yet. Super Smash Brothers candidate says, as a Mexican, I say Diego Luna is overrated as fuck. Enrique Roca is a better actor than him. Sadly, the world will never know him. Bless Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Yep.
Spider-Man, not Bug Boy, says, I love women 30 to 45 minutes a day, 4 to 5 times a week.
Respect.
Here comes the best screen name of all time, The Ball Sacker. I have a feeling just listening to how she was that Carrie Fisher would have told him to grow some balls. She seemed honest enough to call this out.
Yeah.
We miss Carrie Fisher.
You know, I mean, all right. There's a picture of Luke Skywalker with lipstick on right now. He's got lipstick on his teeth. That is preceding the tweet he offered about women taking over the world. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on anymore. I'm going to have to make a video about this tonight. So stay tuned for my video.
Please use the phrase penis abdicator.
I might do that. Yeah.
Let's see. Adjacent culture. Is it symbolic when he hands the dice to Leia, EVS?
Like they're bools? They could be, yeah. They could be bools. Something to think about. Another piece of the puzzle.
Light Skin King says, for EVS, thoughts on Captain Cummings?
Well, I mean, nothing new, nothing that I haven't already said. I think he's flipped his lid, and I think he's looking for subs. And he, I like Captain Cummings. Every time I say something nice about him, he's like, "Oh my God, here's my chance to make another hateful video about EVS." Well, look, I'm always here. When you get sane, when you stop looking for attention, and you need a friend. Because you're crying, having a nervous breakdown, call me up. I'll be here for you.
Yeah, I used to watch him. He kind of was the reason a lot of this started, because I found Diversity in Comics through him, and then through Diversity in Comics I found Ethan, and then Jeremy and all this stuff. So
worried about him, a little nutty.
Darth Raquel Mai says Ryan Johnson for penis abdication president.
Yeah.
Nicholas Glenn says, EVS, I would love to see you do a Cyberfrog tour showing up at comic shops unannounced and recording the journey. Good way to promote your channel and Cyberfrog.
Yeah, I'll do that with Jeremy though. Jeremy's the type of guy that does that kind of thing. So I might, I would do that with Jeremy.
Darth Bobcat says Stanley's death hit me harder than every celebrity or every 2016 celebrity combined. Excelsior, Stan. It's hard to face front without you. I like that. I like that message quite a bit.
I know. We changed it to Incelsior. We are, for the Incel army. I have commanded my shock troopers. Apparently, they're shock troopers. The war campaign. They're no longer allowed, and they'll tell you this. They are not permitted to express physical love and affection to any women until Rainbow Brute comes out. So they are my incel army. I told them that front hole. I have to speak to him this way. By the way, it's not my fault. This isn't what I have to talk to him this way. I say front hole distracts you from your mission of waiting for Rainbow Brute, and they agreed. They agreed with that. So I have a celibate army right now of people. I guess they're not incels. They're voluntarily celibate, but their slogan is Incelsior. So just so you know.
So it's like No Nut November, but forever.
Yeah, until Rainbow Brute comes out.
Okay.
So it'll be a while.
Oh, yeah, you have dedicated listeners, dude.
Yeah, I want to take a vacation when Cyberfrog's done, like, I don't know, a couple of years. So, yeah, I just want to say I'm sorry to their spouses, you know, but a deal's a deal. You know, pledge is a pledge. Their honor.
Breaking apart families, the sanctity of marriage.
Their honor is at stake.
Death Metal Jeremy, that's a new one to me. The Last Jedi was brutal torture of Star Wars fans, which left a dark void within our souls for all eternity. And that's pretty goddamn metal.
I think that's the first time I've heard of that account. So
I hope
we are Caesar's incel army. Those guys are so funny. Hail Centurions, hail.
I hope this Death Metal Jeremy guy ends every super chat message with, and that's pretty goddamn metal.
Oh, that guy's cool.
I love the gimmick. Liger says 082 says Paul Heyman, the new advocate for penises. Hey,
now
Jeremy,
that is good.
Did you see Daniel Bryan won the title?
Say what?
Daniel Bryan beat AJ Styles on SmackDown.
Did he? Now that actually might make me interested again and actually see that. That sounds like a real wrestling match right there. Those two.
Yeah,
that
I might go back and watch that on Hulu in the morning.
Yeah, that sounds great. But yeah, I dig the Paul Heyman reference.
I did too. Nicholas Glenn says, I'm from Alabama. Don't ask me to smile. I only have 2 teeth. Spelled T-E-T-H. Jeremy Osteen says, you missed my other chat, Jeff. I missed Jeremy Osteen's other chat. Hold on.
How'd that happen?
I don't know. I've been reading these in order. Let's see. I know I read Gojira Fi's other one. Jeremy Osteen. The one about the High Council in Hell, Jeremy, with my super chats for the private jet. I read that one for sure.
He probably was because that one came in. The super chat you just read came in after he sent the $20 one, so that's the one he's probably talking about. So
okay, so I haven't missed it, right?
I don't think so.
Okay, cool. I do my best not to miss a single one of these. The real Callum Anderson says the best FF movie, Pixar's Incredibles.
That's true.
It's a damn fine movie. Cotton Candy Hair Jeremy says, don't they make a hardcover book with complete runs of comics EVS? Also, what is yours and Jeff's most cherished Stan Lee comic that you own?
Fantastic Four number 26. Avengers versus the Fantastic Four.
For me, either Amazing Spider-Man number 100, which I believe is Stan Lee's final issue at the time, or my oldest issue is like Amazing Spider-Man number 19. So I like my Spider-Man comics. That's, when he passed away, the first thing I thought was, oh God, and then I was like, Spider-Man, no. So
yeah.
But yeah, Cotton Candy Hair Jeremy, they make complete runs of books in hardback. You can get these things called omnibus, Marvel omnibuses or omnibuy. You can get those. You can read them online. You can get Marvel Masterworks. If you're, not really into SJW Marvel and you want to pick up Marvel Masterworks, you can go to your half-price bookstore and help support small independent business and not give SJW Marvel your money. Same with Star Wars stuff. You want to read the books, go get old copies. Lucasfilm doesn't make a dime.
Yeah.
Let's see. MW77 says Terminator 6 is all Southern Border SJW crap. Oh, fuck. I like Terminator to a degree.
Yeah, I haven't watched the Terminator since Salvation, but I did like Salvation. But outside of that, I haven't seen any of the others.
OBGYNesis was pretty shitty, so we saw that in theaters way back in the day. Where are we at? TLJ Screwjob, thank you very much. Any chance of a High Council cameo in Backstab?
Yeah.
What's Backstab?
Cecil. Okay, so Cash Grab was going to be Cecil and Nurkish, but Nurkish backstab Cecil. So Cecil's going to redo the book by himself and he's going to call it Backstab. Cecil is going to be a fat ghost rider of the spirit of virtue. Yeah, he's going to get revenge. So Backstab is coming out. It's going to be a great book.
I support Cecil. So Cecil, I'll pick up your book when it goes live. Thunder Robots says, you'll be leave anything. Episode 9 is crossing over with Spaceballs. Cool. I can't wait to see Dark Helmet fight Kylo Ren. TLJ Screwjob says, maybe I'm so cynical because Luke tried to kill his nephew, his sister, plus best friend's son in cold blood while he slept. Like Jer said, you can like it, doesn't mean it's well written.
That's right.
MegaJetty1 says, MegaJetty1 equals username. Jeff's Best Bets equals series. Okay, folks, so check out Jeff's Best Bets. There's a lot of people named Jeff that listen to my channel. Cool. It's a great name.
Somebody's confused on my chat in my comments section. I misled some people to believe that Bill Cosby's a Jedi. I never said anything like that. I don't know why people think that. It's my toy review. I did a review of the Soilo Series 4 Wave 4 Peg Warmer story toy review, right? So it's I never said Bill Cosby was a Jedi.
Are you sure about that, Ethan?
Go watch the video. See where you might be confused. I did say Claire Huxtable has a high-powered rifle, but that's the only thing I said. I did not imply Bill Cosby was a Jedi. Check my math.
Are you paying full price for your Star Wars figures?
Yeah, I am. Of course, yeah. And I threw them all away this time. They're garbage. The only one that was good was Rio, or the Spider Monkey. He was good. The rest of them, there was a surprise fate awaiting L337. You'll have to watch the video to see. And the rest of them just went right into the effing garbage as hard as I could throw them at the end of the video.
Why don't you just put them back in the box, sign the box, and sell them on eBay? People will buy it. Make your money back 10 times over.
I don't care. They belong in the garbage. What do you people say that like you could, why throw garbage away? You could give it to kids in a hospital. I'm not giving kids in a hospital my garbage.
Fair enough.
It's the worst idea ever. You don't give kids garbage. I don't want to give other people my refuse.
Well,
why do you flush the toilet, Ethan? You could give it to the homeless. I don't want to give it. That's not right. Flush it.
Well, one of our listeners, Thomas Colby-Lecky, is looking for Rose Tico figures because apparently they're now in demand.
Oh, I got 100 of those. Yeah.
Contact EVS Thomas.
I bought low.
The Frog Creature says cheeseburgers and peeing in cups. I keep seeing the new title, Florida Man.
Yeah.
Mr. V says Simple Jeremy doesn't need your fancy toilets. Yeah.
He's a simple man. Did a hole in the ground.
Chris Wick says, Hi Council. I plan to go to Celebration. Solo, not Soilo, coming from Oz. My main motivation is to catch up with you guys while I'm there in some events, but not sure if it's worth going or boycotting.
We'll
And
let
Chris
you
Wick
know.
comes from, this is from Australia, so that's a far trip just to go to Star Wars Celebration. Well, if you're going to make it all the way to the U.S., you got to hang out with us. It'll be the first time we're all three together. Cotton Candy Hair Jeremy says, there needs to be a Dixie cup with Jeremy with a rebel flag. Secret Rebel says, who was your first female crush on TV or movies as kids?
Linda Carter, Wonder Woman.
Ooh.
Daisy Duke.
Daisy Duke?
Yep.
Trish Stratus from the WWF.
Nice.
Still looks good. Mark C, thank you very much. Mark C says, coming soon to a theater near you. One Dude, One Cup, starring Dirty Jeremy. Frank and the Shawhan Wiener Dog clan says, hi, Council, sing happy birthday to me, Frank and Chip.
We'll let EBS take care of that.
Yeah, you got the best, most buttery voice.
Sing happy birthday.
Yeah, to the Frank in the Shawhan Wiener Dog clan.
I have to sing it?
Dude, you're the music guy.
Didn't they ask Jeremy to sing it?
They asked all of us to sing it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I don't know how to play the song. Happy birthday, dear who?
Frank and Chip.
Happy birthday to you. Yeah, forget it. I don't know the words.
After our channels dry up, we'll go on there's a singing Telegram things or whatever.
Yeah.
Perfect. Mega Jetty 1 says, Return of the Jedi, my favorite, but hate Oola dying. Hashtag slave Leia and Oola.
Yeah.
I do like, hey, her boob pops out in that movie, and they've never edited it out, so that's pretty incredible. Governor Tarkin says, I have been around lately. Thanks for reminding me. Or sorry, I haven't been around lately. Thanks for reminding me why I show up every Tuesday. Adam Driver looks like Bojack from Netflix. Just saying. Herpicus McDurpington. I'd be less disappointed in Dion if he had said he was into necrophilia. Well, he's my friend, but I'm not gonna disallow that. Herpicus McDurpington, I agree. Mirror Jeremy says Hayden Vader suit if they do a show. Maybe, sure.
I'm okay with that.
Ghosty Ghost sent in a $20 super chat with no message. Thank you very much, Ghosty Ghost, for your very generous super chat. Opinionated Junkie says, thoughts on Django Unchained and 12 Years a Slave?
Why those two movies? What's that about?
I thought Django was cool. I saw it way back in 2012 and I liked it. Never seen 12 Years a Slave.
I seen them both.
I've seen neither.
I seen them both. I liked them both. I thought they were very, very good.
6 Turning 4 Burning, thank you very much. Is there a working man, Jeremy? He's only taking a swig for the working man. Well, 6 Turning 4 Burning, I'm sure there will be soon.
Yeah, I don't. Caitlin Alba would have to answer, but I do not know. I don't think there is.
David Stevens says, made myself a Jeremy account. Guess what it is?
No telling.
Panboy Lando Soy Child Dong Lover says, Hail Caesar, our light, our sword. Sub to war campaign on YouTube. Caesar's incel army.
Hail Centurions. Hail work campaign.
Mega Jetty 1 says, Dark Helmet beats Kylo Ren via Schwartz Nut Crush. Ugh. And finally, our last super chat of the evening, Darth Requel May says, Darth Helmet now collecting penises everywhere. Ugh. I see what you did there. So, folks, it is our longest episode of the High Council. It's about to be the stroke of midnight. So I'd like to take this time to thank everyone who supports all 3 of our channels. Make sure that you're subscribed to World Class Bullshitters here, Geeks and Gamers, and of course, Comic Artist Pro Secrets. We come at you every day with exciting content, unique, original takes on all of the craziest things happening in the world of pop culture. And, hold on. Jeremy at Denny's sent in a super chat that says, it's David. Come on, Jeremy. After all my Denny's comments,
I got you, man. I got you. I appreciate that.
So, while EVS plays us out, is there anything you guys want to say or promote?
I just want to thank everybody again for making it a very entertaining night, very entertaining episode of the High Council, standing together with all of us as we continue to battle against these NPCs, these SJWs, and these people that have no free thinking, no critical thinking whatsoever. We will continue to expose Lucasfilm. We will continue to expose all of the bullshit going on. We are not going to stand by why they sit there and tell us that men should not be allowed in the world anymore, as Mark Hamill is trying to do. We will not stand by and be called racist and sexist. We will continue to stand up for what we believe in, and we will not be stopped. So thank you all for everything. Have a great night.
Ethan, was that The Power of Love?
That's right.
A great movie and a great song. Back to the Future.
Absolutely. Nice piano version of The Power of Love. Greatest song.
Huey Lewis in the News.
Yeah, I do like Huey Lewis in the News. I like that song anyway. I don't know about the rest of it,
That and Hip to Be Square are the only 2 Huey Lewis songs I enjoy. Other than that, I'll pass.
Yeah.
Ethan, is there anything you'd like to say before we close this show out?
Yeah, I would like to curse all of you, uniformly, all of you. I've been wearing my bad news incels. I've been wearing my my Ouija board hat this entire time. You're all cursed. You have all forfeited and abdicated your penises. You are going to wake up tomorrow and you're going to be like, what the hell? And then you're going to realize that it was me. And you're going to be mad at me, but you're going to kind of think it's funny too. So you're going to be like, oh my God, what the Ethan. So it's going to be kind of like that. And that's what you get. That's what all of you get. And here's the song I'd like to sing to you. This is our going away song. I wanna do karate on your lifeless body. I wanna hang you like a heavy bag. And I'll make all your friends watch when I crane kick your dead crotch. You'll evacuate and make them gag. And that's what you get. That's what you get. I don't know what you did, but that's what you get. That's what you get. That's what you get. That's what you get. I wanna drink a few highballs and gouge out your eyeballs and pee into your hollow skull. While hellfire's waiting, I'll notify Satan to torture your immortal soul. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night. Appreciate you. And I'll see you again tomorrow on my channel, Comic Artist Pro Secrets. And then, of course, we'll see you again next week on my channel for the High Council. Thank you so much.
Yes, and Jedi Rider, what did Black Widow say to Hawkeye? You make me quiver. And this is the perfect way to end the stream. And now the stream dies. That's pretty metal. So, folks, thank you to everyone who makes the High Council possible every week. We'll be back next time with more.